Welcome to Seneca Indians Baseball, live on KNEO.org. This broadcast is a sporting outreach of the KNEO Sports Network. You're now locked into the official pregame show of the Seneca Indians. Now, let's go to Ben Walcott, live on location.
And a pleasant good afternoon, and we welcome you here to Seneca as we get set for high school baseball here on the KNEO and Seneca Indian Sports Network. I'm Ben Walcott, joined by the coach, Daryl Harbaugh. Got a good non-conference matchup here this afternoon. It is the 8-2 Seneca Indians hosting the 10-3 Strafford Indians. Your countdown to first pitch sponsor, People's Bank of Seneca. And like I mentioned, Daryl, it's a good non-conference matchup. These two teams actually met up in the Cassville tournament earlier in the year. It was 2 weeks ago from tomorrow at this point that those two would have met up. And Strafford came away with a 6-3 win. And you've talked about it really all year long for the Seneca team in their losses. And then even yesterday, it's when those opponents get those big innings is when Seneca gets in trouble. In their loss to CJ, they gave up 5 or 6 in the 7th inning. In their loss to Strafford, they gave up 5 in 1 inning. Yesterday, they gave up 5. Luckily, Houchin settled down after that. And then against Veneta, he gave up 4 in 1 inning. So I guess the big thing is you're trying to avoid big innings here if you're the Indians.
Yeah, that's the main thing, is try to avoid, the snowball effect. And it really was the snowball effect that we always talk about, Ben, is you know as well as I do, is if you get walks or hit by pitch, and next thing you know, you make a few errors, and next thing you know, they get a base hit and a timely hit. That didn't really happen yesterday. Matt County just came out and got several hits in that inning and scored a few runs. I really don't think we even had an error in that inning.
There was one walk in that inning. Sosi walked to start the inning, but 5 runs and 5 hits.
Yes,
in that inning. So
yeah, and so it wasn't one of the big, huge, that everything goes wrong innings. It was just, hey, they hit the ball where we weren't, and we made the plays that we're supposed to make. And like you said, Houchin kind of settled down a little bit. And we started making plays behind him. He started throwing more strikes. We started making more plays behind him. And luckily, we just ate back at that, lead the whole first 3 or 4 innings and finally got the lead and stretched it out at the end.
Yeah, 43 pitches in that first inning. He was able to go 5+ innings in that contest. Finished with 5 hits, 5 runs, 5 earned. 3 base on balls, 8 strikeouts. He did hit a batter, if not 2. It looks like he only hit 1, but he also did hit a batter in that contest. Jagger Wilson came in, got the save. 2 innings, did exactly what he needed to do. No hits, 3 strikeouts. He gets the start here this afternoon. It's been a busy week for Jagger on the mound. He's come in, basically gotten it technically was not a save situation on Tuesday. But came in, got the final 3 outs on Tuesday, and then came in and got 2 innings yesterday.
Yeah, he usually comes in, he throws strikes, he pitches well. And last couple times, I think maybe coach is getting more comfortable with him with coming in late in the evening. And pitching just a few pitches like, for an inning or 2. But I imagine it was probably going to try to be just 1 inning. But, the first inning from Houchin, stretched his pitch count quite a bit, and then he settled down and kept it. Like you said, he went to 5 innings, which is something we probably weren't we were saying he was going to be lucky to do.
Yeah, I mean, he was able to start the 6th inning, but unfortunately walked that first batter. Take a timeout, come back. We'll get you the starting lineups after this break here on the KNEO and Seneca Indian Sports Network.
People's Bank of Seneca. We care about your journey every step of the way. Since 1996, visit us in Joplin, Neosho, or Seneca. PeoplesBankOfSeneca.com. Member FDIC. Proud sponsor of area athletics. Let's score big together.
Prater's Pharmacy in Seneca is a proud supporter of the Seneca Indians. The pharmacy is open from 9 to 5:30 Monday through Friday and from 9 to 1 on Saturday. They offer an automatic refill program and internet refill service online at praterspharmacy.com and through their mobile apps. They also have a drive-through window. Prater's Pharmacy at 1711 Cherokee in Seneca, 417-776-8701. Go Indians!
Seneca Indian Athletics is sponsored by Prairie Top Chiropractic. Located at 4556 Quince Road in Seneca, chiropractic physician Seth Wilson offers chiropractic services to Seneca and the surrounding areas. For appointment information, their phone number is 417-776-4556 or discover more at facebook.com/Prairie Top Chiropractic. Prairie Top Chiropractic, where their slogan is better health, better you.
The Roper Kia 4-State Sports Report will provide up-to-the-minute scores and highlights from around the 4 states. With ultimate local coverage from all your favorite teams. The Roper Kia 4-State Sports Report, weeknights at 6 and 10 p.m.
Happy Egg supports the family farmer because they've seen the difference a choice like this can make. Now you can grow for Happy Egg and choose to raise hens the right way, the happy way. When you grow for Happy Egg, you are growing for a family-owned and operated business. You're raising happy hens on 10-plus acres who will lay happy eggs. You're working for yourself. As a Happy Egg grower, you'll receive new flock cost support and yield-based compensation. Visit happyegg.com/grower to apply today.
Finding answers to questions is easier than ever. It doesn't matter how complex or simple your question is, the answer is just a few taps away. Except maybe these kinds of questions.
Who am I? Where did man come from? What is the purpose of man on this earth? Does life have any meaning?
Billy Graham knew the answer to that last question is yes.
There is more to life than death. Jesus taught us the dignity and the importance of being a person. God put us on this earth for a purpose, and our purpose is to fellowship with God and glorify God. And the great need of the human race at this hour is reconciliation to God.
Would you like to know how you can have a relationship with God? We'd love to help. Just call us at 855-255-PRAY. That's 855-255-PRAY. We're the Billy Graham Evangelistic Association.
And we welcome you back. Your starting lineups here this evening. I guess it's this afternoon, not this evening yet. Sponsored by Prairie Top Chiropractic and Prater's Pharmacy. First for the visiting Strafford Indians. Leading off is the shortstop, number 16, JT Mullings. Batting second and playing center field, number 1, Crew Crawford. Batting third and playing third base, number 7, Landon Rhodes. The cleanup hitter is the right fielder, number 12, Eli Clark. Batting fifth and doing the catching, number 15, Braden Choate. Batting sixth and doing the pitching, number 2, Connor Rogers. Batting seventh is the designated hitter, number 11, Colton Dampier. Batting eighth and playing left field, number 14, Tyler Hunt. And batting ninth and playing first base, number 3, Cooper Easley. The extra player is the second baseman, number 8, Lucas Gilmore. Now the starting lineup for the Seneca Indians. Leading off and doing the pitching here this afternoon, number 13, Jagger Wilson. Batting second and playing third base, number 8, Grant Houchin. Batting third and playing center field, number 18, Drew Sherwood. The cleanup hitter is the shortstop here this afternoon, number 21, Hagen Ginger. Batting fifth and playing left field, number 33, Caden Klaus. Batting sixth and doing the catching, number 2, Silas Ball. Batting seventh and playing first base, number 19, Asher Prater. Batting eighth and playing second base, number 1, Ryder Owens. And batting ninth and playing right field, number 17, Ian Heffern. And Asher Prater had a very good day at the plate yesterday, Darryl. He was 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs.
Yeah, Asher's been hitting the ball well. I mean, he's got a good eye-hand contact. And coordination, yeah, and making good contact with the ball. And he's hitting it in spots. He's making good, like the other day, he just stuck his bat out there and it took off down right field, just barely hit the line, at the Nevada.
Yeah.
Yeah, and, last night he hit the ball well, made a good base hit, scoring, got some kids in scoring position. The middle and the back of the lineup yesterday played pretty well. I thought they got on base. The kids ahead of him got on base, and actually we scored some runs from the middle lineup back.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like throughout the year it's been different people doing what they need to do. You know, at one point it was the top of the order, another point it was the middle, and it's yesterday was kind of the bottom. So you love the fact that everybody is contributing, and it's a little bit, once again, still of a different look. Ryan Owens out here for the Indians, so you have to put Heffron in right field, and then Braden Roark still out. So you have to kind of maneuver things around a little bit with a different second baseman, and then Prater at first, and because Wilson is pitching, they moved Ginger to shortstop. I mean, and that happened yesterday in pregame warm-ups to Ryan Owens, so it'll be interesting to see how Seneca maneuvers the rest of the year.
Yeah, you've got kids, and one gets, one's getting injured, one is gone, he's not here. You shuffle them around, and you played baseball enough, you should be able to play in different spots. Ian Heffron is probably one of the most versatile kids we have. He plays outfield, plays infield, and pitches. So, and now you got Hagan and going to shortstop. He played right field last night. He went to shortstop today. So they're all going around, but they should be able to play those positions.
Yeah, anytime you bring a new pitcher in, nobody in the field comes out. It's just a nice merry-go-round on where they're going to go. Both Sherwood and Houchin are ineligible to pitch the rest of the week. Sherwood will be eligible again Sunday, so basically Monday. And then you have Houchin won't be eligible again until next Tuesday or Wednesday. So you have Wilson on the mound here this afternoon, probably Heffron behind him a little bit. It's been almost 2 weeks since Heffron's pitched, so you got to think Coach wants to get him in some game action, and if necessary, Hagan probably would throw some today. Caden may as well.
No, man, let's hope not. Gets to that point. And I'm talking for Hagan because Hagan didn't want to pitch, but he knows he has to at some point.
It'll be interesting to see what happens here this afternoon, as it is Seneca and Strafford getting set to do action here this afternoon. We will take a timeout, come back with more after this on the KNEO and Seneca Indian Sports Network.
The Seneca R7 School District is proud to support the student athletes and coaches competing in this game. High school activities help students learn life values such as hard work, dedication, and teamwork. The Seneca R7 School District is honored to serve such a great community and wants to thank all the Indian fans for their great support. The Seneca R7 School District. Tradition, pride, class.
Billy Graham talks about driving.
I read about a woman who tried her driver's test for the 38th time and failed. And perhaps you've tried nearly that many times for a license spiritually, to sit in the driver's seat of your own life. I'm asking you to move over and trust the Holy Spirit to drive and control your life. You can be alive right now physically, but your soul is dead. Your spirit is dead, and you keep searching for something and you can't find it. You'll never find what you're looking for in life till you come to the cross of Christ and are born again. Do you know Christ? Are you sure? God can give you a whole new life, a transformation that you never dreamed existed, if you let Him.
Discover how you can let God get behind the wheel of your life at findpeacewithgod.net. That's findpeacewithgod.net. We're the Billy Graham Evangelistic Association. Finding answers to questions is easier than ever. It doesn't matter how complex or simple your question is, the answer is just a few taps away. Except maybe these kinds of questions.
Who am I? Where did man come from? What is the purpose of man on this earth? Does life have any meaning?
Billy Graham knew the answer to that last question is yes.
There is more to life than death. Jesus taught us the dignity and the importance of being a person. God put us on this earth for a purpose, and our purpose is to fellowship with God and glorify God. And the great need of the human race at this hour is reconciliation to God.
Would you like to know how you can have a relationship with God? We'd love to help. Just call us at 855-255-PRAY. That's 855-255-PRAY. We're the Billy Graham Evangelistic Association.
At ProLube Tire and Auto Center, we know what it means to rely on your vehicle. We race all year and know how to get that extra inch out of every part. Precision, quality, and reliability are not just words to us. It's what we do every day. We know you rely on your vehicle to perform for your family. From oil changes to full-on repairs, ProLube gives you the best racetrack team experience, so you can be worry-free.
ProLube Tire and Auto Center, where we get it right on the road and the track.
And we welcome you back as we get set for action here between Seneca and Strafford here this afternoon. And Daryl, picture-perfect day for baseball, 67 degrees here in Seneca. Wind a little bit less than yesterday afternoon, but still a little bit of a breeze coming out of the northwest.
Yeah, it was playing on the golf course. You know, I had to suffer my day on the golf course today. And
you're always suffering on the golf course.
I know. It's always a suffer. But anyway, yeah, the wind was kind of sharp out on the golf course. It's kind of laid down a little bit, which makes it absolutely perfect game for baseball.
Strafford, once again, looks like this in the batting order. J.T. Mullins leads off. Crew Crawford batting second. Landon Rhodes bats third. Eli Clark fourth. Braden Choate fifth. Connor Rogers sixth. Colton Dampier seventh. Tyler Hunt eighth. And Cooper Easley ninth against Jagger Wilson on the mound. Silas Ball will do the catching for him. Grant Houchin at third. Hagen Ginger at short. Ryder Owens at second. Asher Prater at first. And then an outfield of Caden Clausen left. Drew Sherwood in center, and Ian Heffron in right field. And something I will never complain about is starting a baseball game early, as they're going to get this one underway a little bit early here this afternoon as JT Mullings will step into the box.
We see if we can have a little bit better start today's game than we did last night.
As JT Mullings steps in, and we'll get what looks like his pitch is low for a ball, and the count's 1-0 here on Mullings.
Yeah.
Comes the 1-0, and that fastball hits the outside corner, and the count is 1-1 strike. Here comes the 1-1, and that's low, maybe outside as well. So count 2-1. Strafford, the same kind of uniforms, just like Nevada. That dark maroon.
Mm-hmm.
So the 2-1 is outside, and the count 3-1. White pants, maroon tops, white trim, and numbers for Strafford. That's
what they were in at Monett tournament when we played them.
3-1 is in there for a strike, and the count 3-2. Unlike the juniors and seniors, Wilson only a sophomore, so he only has 95 pitches compared to the 105. That ball is hit down to Owens at second, throws to first in time for the putout, and there's one down.
Yeah, that's good. That's sophomore to freshman right there. Ryder Owens playing second base tonight. Over to Asher. Good young kids here.
As Crew Crawford will come to the plate. And, yeah, I mean, that's a freshman and a sophomore.
Yeah. Sophomore to freshman.
Yeah. So, you know, as that one hits the outside corner, the count's 0-1 here on Crew Crawford. We said this Seneca team, it's young, or I should say they got a lot of experience, but they're not a deep team. And when you start maneuvering things around, you're going to get some sophomores and freshmen that have to play on varsity. That one's outside, so the count's 2-1.
Yeah, that's not bad. It's not a bad thing to get them in here early. I mean, I know you want to win the game. It's non-conference game, so you can always try to get those kids in.
So here comes the 2-1, and that's low, and the count 3-1.
Here he's fell behind the first hitter, now the second hitter.
Yeah, it was full on Mullings. He was able to force a ground out. So the 3-1 hits the inside corner And the count's now full at 3-2. He's gone full on the first two hitters here. Was able to get a ground out on the first one. Here comes the 3-2, and he yanks that one into the dirt for ball 4. So a 1-out walk as Landon Rhodes will come to the plate, and that's kind of what started the merry-go-round last night, was a walk in the first inning.
Well, it's never a good start. But, I mean, they got 1 out, so see if they can turn 2 on the infield.
And Darryl, what's our saying? What are the ones that kill you all the time?
Yeah, walks and errors. And walks is things that gets things going sometimes.
That fastball just misses the outside corner. Count 1-0. Wilson being aggressive here, throwing a lot of heat, but just missing the outside edges. You'd love for him to get ahead in the count here.
Yeah, find the strike zone.
So here comes the 1-0. That ball is hit on a hop to Ginger. Throws to second. Nope.
Oh, no.
Nope, they're going to say it's in the transfer. So he's still out.
They were saying it's...
He said it was in the transfer.
Yeah.
So they're going to call him out anyways. It's a 6-4 put out.
Huh.
And the fielder's choice as the runner at first.
Now it's back to Strafford, number 12, Eli Clark.
So that's what he was saying.
Or they're going to
He's saying he caught it and then tried to, on the transfer to his hand.
I don't know that the home plate ump is going to make a difference saying there. I mean,
well, I don't know how he can see it any better than him seeing it 10 feet away. But anyway.
Oh, they are going to call him safe.
They all call it safe.
So that is an E4 on the play. The fielder's choice for first. There's one down here for Eli Clark.
I
mean, it certainly seems like the right call, Darryl, but unfortunately for the Indians, somehow the home plate umpire overrules the field umpire. That's a lot closer.
Yeah, I don't know. That's I can't see it from here. I don't know if he did lose it, trying to transfer it quick to get it over there. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly looked like that was the right call as that ball is pounded down the right field line, but it's going to end out of play. So the count's 1-1 here on Clark as he was way ahead of, I think that was a curveball. Something off speed, I know that much. 1-1 the count. Runners on first and second. Yes, here comes the 1-1. That curveball popped up in the air, and Owens can't find it. Ginger comes over and snags it. I think Owens may have lost that one in the sun a little bit, as it's a pop out, and there's 2 down now for Choate.
The hardest thing to do is find one that's hit right over your head like that when you got to turn your head and run backwards. Hagan had a good eye on it and a good angle. And he ran that far.
Yeah, and Owens was kind of looking at him like, hey, I need help.
Yeah, it didn't look like Drew could get to it right quick, or Ian out in right field.
As Braden Choate will come to the plate as he steps out. Sponsors here this afternoon: Newmac Electric, Prater's Pharmacy, Prolue Maintenance Center, Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, all sponsoring the broadcast here this afternoon. So that one in the dirt, good block by Ball, and the count is 1-0. Ball, I mean, that's when you would love to get the body in front of him, but he turned his glove and was able to snag it.
It was so far outside, I don't think he had a chance. Yeah, that's the only chance he had.
So here comes the 1-0, and that's outside, and the count's 2-0.
Yeah, it looks like Jagger's falling off the mound a little bit to his left, which is making him pull the ball across the plate. See if he can't straighten this out right here, settle down, throw strikes.
So here comes the 2-0, and it hits Choate. And the bases will be loaded here for Connor Rogers, who's going to try and help his own cause. Campbell Bellicum Funeral Home, Big Nickel, Missouri Southern State University, Prairie Top Chiropractic, Lighthouse Tax Services, Dairy Queen of Seneca, First Community Bank, Cedar Lane Farm and Garden, and the Northwest Arkansas Naturals, all sponsoring the broadcast here this afternoon. can tag any bag here if you're the Indians to get out of the inning with no damage.
Yeah, let's see if we can get out.
Fastball hits the inside corner. And counts 0-1, and I believe, Darryl, that's the first batter he's got ahead of.
Tell you what, that was a mean-looking pitch that curved into the batter, into a right-hand batter.
So 1-0 stays high, counts 1-1. First pitch potentially could have been a slider that slid back in. So here comes the 1-1 pitch to Rogers. That stays outside, and the count's 2-1, and you got nowhere to put him.
Yeah, you got to just settle down, throw strikes, and if he hits it, you know, we make a play on it or take it.
The 2-1 pitch is
go.
up the middle. Ginger going to let it go to Owens, and Owens has it go through, and 2 runs are going to come in and score on the play. Miscommunication there between Hagen Ginger and Ryder Owens. I think you got to say that's an error on Ginger because he cut in front of Owens.
Well, I think Hagen was thinking he may not have a play at first to let Ryder take it since Ryder's on
on the bag.
Since Ryder's on the bag, and all he had to do was just field it. I got a feeling that's probably what happened. Hagen just let it go through, let it go to Ryan. It was right sitting on second base.
Yeah, and Ryder wasn't.
And then I don't know if he wasn't paying attention or didn't notice it and missed the ball.
Yeah. Not a good start here for Seneca. 2 errors in the inning have allowed for 2 unearned runs. That one's in there for a strike on Colton Dampier. Counts 1-1 here on Dampier. A lot of pitches here by Wilson in the first as that one's fouled back, and the count 1-2. People's Bank of Seneca, Crowder College, Christian Healthcare Ministry, Seneca School District, all sponsoring the broadcast. As here comes the 1-2 pitch. That's swung on and missed for strike 3. That will end the inning. For Strafford, they get 2 runs in the inning on no base hits. There were 2 errors, and they strand 2. Half inning in the books. It's Strafford 2, Seneca coming up here on the KNEO and Seneca Indian Sports Network.
Being a Lion comes with a reputation for excellence. Whether it's in the classroom, on the court, or in the community, Lions are leading the way. With innovative and immersive academic programs, new scholarship opportunities, and a campus committed to the future, now is the perfect time to find your purpose. Find your pride at Missouri Southern State University.
A sponsor of community broadcasting on KNEO, Southwest Missouri Bank in Neosho, serving the Neosho area from 2 locations. They offer personal banking services, including checking and savings accounts, home loans, and online banking. Learn more online at smbonline.com. Southwest Missouri Bank, an equal housing lender. Member FDIC, where their slogan is
Southwest Missouri Bank, we can do that.
A proud backer of the Seneca Indians is Campbell Biddlecombe Funeral Home of Seneca. Located at 1101 Cherokee, they are honored to serve the area with traditional service options, including church and graveside services. They also have prearranged funeral plans. For more information, the phone number for Funeral Director Mike Steele at Campbell Biddlecombe Funeral Home of Seneca is 417-776-2251 or online campbell-biddlecomefh.com.
People's Bank of Seneca. We care about your journey every step of the way. Since 1996, visit us in Joplin, Neosho, or Seneca. PeoplesBankOfSeneca.com. Member FDIC. Proud sponsor of area athletics. Let's score big together.
And we welcome you back as Jagger Wilson will lead things off here for the Indians. Wilson, Houch, and Sherwood are the first 3 due up for Seneca, then Ginger, Klaus, and Ball, and finally Prater, Owens, and Heffron. As Wilson steps in against Connor Rogers. That ball is roped into right center field, and that's going to roll all the way to the wall. That may be a three-bagger for Wilson, and Seneca in business early.
And that's a triple for Jagger Wilson.
As he's been kind of scuffing here as of late, Daryl, and that's a good start for the Indians.
That's a good, solid hit. Hit that right on the nose, that he did.
As Houchin will come to the plate here for Seneca. Now you're trying to respond there for the Indians.
Yeah, let's see if we can score a run or two.
As here comes the first pitch. That pitch is high, so the count is 1-0. They were kind of playing Wilson a little bit shallow there too, but he also was able to hit it where they were not, as that one high and tight as well. So the count 2-0.
Well, you know as well as I do, Ben, how big a ballpark. We talk about all this time how big a ballpark this is. It runs to the fence, you're going to run a while.
The 2-0 is high and tight, so the count now 3-0. Strafford looks like this in the field. In left field is Tyler Hunt, center field Crew Crawford, and in right field is Eli Clark. As here comes the 3-0. And that is outside for ball 4. So a leadoff triple and a walk has Seneca in business as Drew Sherwood will come to the plate here for Seneca. As coming in the infield for Strafford, it will be Landon Rhodes at third, JT Mullings at shortstop. At second base is Lucas Gilmore, and at first is Cooper Easley. As that first pitch to Sherwood is outside, so the count is 1-0 with the battery of Braden Choate catching Connor Rogers here this afternoon.
And Connor, he's struggling to find the strike zone as well.
Yeah, I mean, Wilson hit the very first pitch of the game for a triple and then 5 straight balls. That ball is swung on by Sherwood and fouls it back, so the count is 1-1, and Houchin had second stolen.
Yeah, I got a feeling Coach Hughes is not happy. Because somebody missed a sign. It's probably with Drew that he fouled it off when we had.
That curved ball stays inside, and the count is 2-1.
Yeah, it's second base stolen, and you foul it off. So
then instead of 2 runners in scoring position, you still only have 1.
Well, if you hit a triple, we still got 2. That's what we need to do.
So that 2-1 is swung on and missed, and the count 2-2.
Drew hasn't missed a whole lot of them this year. That was right down the plate. That was sitting on a silver platter for him. He just missed it.
2-2 the count here on Sherwood. Houchin at first, Wilson on third, and they throw behind Houchin, who had a sizable lead out there, but back in plenty of time.
Yeah, you don't want to get thrown out at first base.
He's creeped his lead a little bit more out there. So here comes another 2-2, and that is, I don't know if that's called or if they said he offered at it.
I think he said he offered at it, but I don't think he did.
As coming to the plate is Hagen Ginger. I mean, that seemed too far outside to be a called third strike, and it certainly didn't look like his bat acted like he swung at it.
No, I think he bailed out on it. Houchin, no lead at all over there. There he goes.
As Houchin will steal second. As they will. That was a close play. That was a good job there by the catcher, Choate, making it a close play. But now you got 2 runners in scoring position for the meat of your order as Ginger takes a strike.
I was surprised Jagger. I was surprised Jagger didn't try to get in from third base.
He may have been afraid that they were going to cut it off.
Yeah, there wasn't nobody in there to cut it off though. That's what I'm saying, Ben. There was nobody in front. The kid was at the bag.
Yeah.
So anyway,
sometimes once you recognize that, it's too
late. Yeah.
Though.
Yeah.
So here comes the 0-1 to Ginger. That's in the dirt. Doesn't get away enough for Wilson to think about doing anything. As the count's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Come on, little snot. Let's go. Hit the baseball hard.
1-1 the count here on Ginger. 1 out here in the bottom of the first. Here comes the 1-1, and that fastball is swung on and missed. Pretty good location there as well. And the count 1-2, because that was going to be a strike anyways. May have taken it off a little bit.
Yeah, he's got a battle now, 1-2.
As here comes the 1-2. That ball is poked out into center field, and it's going to fall for a base hit. One run will come in and score. Good job there by Houchin to hold up and make sure that the ball fell before he tried to take third. So runners are at first and third for Caden Klaus, as Seneca has gotten one of those runs back. And you have to think Ginger will be off on the first pitch. This isn't anything official, but he's got to be close to, if not leading the team in steals.
I would say he probably is.
As he's off on the first pitch, the ball in the dirt, and that makes it inconsequential what happened. He picked a good pitch to go on a breaking ball. The count's 1-0, and once again, runners are at second and third here for Seneca.
Come on, Caden Klaus.
So here comes the 1-0. They were running a suicide squeeze, and Klaus fouls it off. So the count is 1-1. He was trying to push it towards first because the first baseman was playing back, and I think that's what Coach Eust was talking about with that attempt is first baseman was playing back. And
well, the pitch was outside, so it's about the only place he could go with it. He just missed it. I mean, it was a ball.
So here comes the 1-1, and that's swung on and missed. And the count 1-2, and now Klaus needs to battle. Ginger hit a 1-2 single. See what Klaus can do here. Still 1 out here in the inning. The 1-2 is swung on and missed for strike 3. So 2 down now as Silas Ball will come to the plate. Sponsors here this afternoon, Southwest Missouri Bank, Neosho Daily News, Marine Center Incorporated, and Community Bank and Trust. Ball in the game yesterday was hit by a pitch twice, lined out, and flew out.
He's been striking the ball pretty well.
I was thinking that. It was a kind of a soft liner yesterday to second, and then just a lazy fly ball out to right field. He's the one that was ripped them 2 long foul balls, down the left field line. I mean, really turned on him and hit him hard. If he could just turn on one, wait a little bit, turn on one and hit it hard. Put it in play. As Choate and Rogers weren't on the same page, and so
I guarantee if he gets a base hit, Hagen's not stopping at third.
Yeah. Anything into the outfield.
Yeah.
As here comes the first pitch to Ball. Fastball is over the outside corner, so the count's 0-1. That one looked like it might have been a good pitch to swing at.
Good pitch to take the other way, wasn't it?
Count 0-1. So here comes the 0-1, and that's outside. Choate has done a good job behind the plate here in the first. He's been busy here in the early going.
Yes, he has. He slid his body sideways on that to knock it down, smother it.
1-1 the count here on Ball. Strafford in Class 4, I believe it's District 12 with Nevada, so you could potentially see them again as that pitch is high and inside. So the count's 2-1. Only way you would see them is if you both win your districts, and that would be a sectional matchup. The winner of Class 11 will host the winner of District 12. 2-1 the count, and they throw behind the runner, who gets back safely in Ginger. It's kind of
the old spin move.
Yeah, I was going to say it was a weird move back because he kind of hesitated there for a second, but Ginger back safely. Trying to pick him off. 2-1 the count here on Ball with 2 outs. Here comes the 2-1, and that's outside. Counts 3-1, and if you're Ball, you know he's got to throw one to you, and if you're Strafford, I don't think you want to get to Asher Prater. Prater has been hitting the ball hard these last couple of games. So here comes the 3-1, and that's high for ball 4. So the bases are loaded for Asher Prater, who had 3 RBIs yesterday and is looking for more.
Put another, like I said, just put the ball in play and good things can happen.
As now the whole infield going to come in, and
Coach is coming out.
Coach is having a visit at the mound as well. Northwest Arkansas Naturals are at home at Arvis Ballpark through Sunday against the Frisco Rough Riders April 13th. For ticket information, visit nwanaturals.com, a supporter of high school baseball here on KNEO. Still got a couple games this week you could go to down in Arkansas, Saturday and Sunday. And then they're gone for a week, so you won't be able to see them again until the week of the 21st. After that, as Jack Caglione, we've talked about him a lot, but he has had a torrid start there in Springdale, Arkansas, and you got to take advantage of seeing him while you can, because I would not be surprised by the end of May if he's in AAA in Omaha.
Could be.
So Prater will be the one up here for Seneca. Strafford sent 7 to the plate in the top half. Seneca, this is their number 7 hitter, as that pitch is outside for a ball. So counts 1-0. 2 walks here in the inning. So far, they haven't caused any damage to Strafford. The leadoff triple is the one that came in and scored. So here comes the 1-0, and that ball is hit on the ground to third, throws to second in time for the putout. It's a 6-4 putout, and that will end the inning. For Seneca in the inning, they get 1 run on 2 base hits, no errors. They strand 3, 1 in the buck. Strafford up 2-1 here on the KNEO and Seneca Indian Sports Network.
If you're a weekend warrior who likes to go, 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 don't let pain put the brakes on your pace. When you need help with an injury that keeps you from moving, you want an orthopedic team with a proven track record. Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is nationally recognized and were recently named CareCheck's #1 hospital in the market and top 10% hospital in the state for hip fracture repair. Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, the experience you need to keep pace with life.
I'm a Missouri Farm Bureau insurance agent. I'm for working hard for what you get and then protecting what you've got. Your home, your vehicles, your life. I'm for making an honest living and taking pride in what you do, and for giving back to the community I call home. I'm for serving my clients with the respect and dignity you would expect from the farmers that started this company. And though I know you probably hope you never need me, I'm here for you when you do. I'm a Missouri Farm Bureau insurance agent, and if you're a Missourian, I'm for you.
I am Josh Dotson with Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance Services. If you're in Missouri, I'm for you.
I've seen First Community Bank all over, but then to take my stuff to some people that didn't really know me and took a chance, that spoke volume.
I'll always be grateful to First Community and that whole team over at Harrison that helped get me started.
Anytime I need anything, just a phone call away. We're really proud to be with First Community Bank.
And we welcome you back as Tyler Hunt will start off the second, takes a fastball outside for a ball, and fouls that one off. So the count's 1-1. 8-9-1 here for Strafford in the second. Hunt, Easley, and Mullings are the 3 due up. Anybody reaches, Crew Crawford will come to the plate as that pitch is spoiled foul. And the count 1-2. And Daryl, the outs that Seneca got there in the first inning, for the most part, he was able to get ahead of hitters.
Yes, that's always the key. He's 1-2 here, so there.
That ball is roped just past Ouch and Ginger. A long play at first, and Prater does a good job of coming off the bag to make sure that ball does not go into left field. It's a single for Hunt.
Yeah, just off Houchin's glove.
And Ginger did everything he could there as well, but just beat it out. Cooper Easley comes to the plate with it being the number 9 hitter I would not be shocked if a bunt play is on.
Haven't seen anything, haven't heard anything, but it could be.
So here comes the first pitch. He was bunting, and it's bunted foul. So counts 0-1. Four State Sports Report, Missouri Farm Bureau agent Josh Dotson, Neosho Area Chamber of Commerce, Mid-America Specialty Markets, sponsoring the broadcast. 0-1 the count. Again, still will not be surprised if the bump play is still on. Try and get that runner into scoring position for the top of your order. That pitch is bunted well. Wilson's only play is to first. It is a 1-3 putout, but easily does his job on the sacrifice bunt. As JT Mullings will come to the plate. Mullings grounded out to second his first time up. Normally, if you're a coach, you'll take that where you have two cracks with the top of the order to get the run in. So here comes the first pitch to Mullings, and that hits the outside corner. This counts 0-1. Everyone at the Neosho Daily News wish the Seneca Indians good luck. Let's go get that win. 0-1 the count here on Mullings. Here comes the 0-1. That is inside, so the count 1-1. Seems like, Daryl, at least the last week for Seneca, they've taken the pitchers. It's taken them an inning to settle in. So it seems like Wilson has settled in nicely here. So that breaking ball hits the inside corner, and the count's 1-2.
Just getting their feet underneath him. He's good pitching here. There
1-2, blocked in the dirt by
good.
Ball, and the count's 2-2.
Good work by Silas back there to smother it.
Not allow that runner to get to third. Here comes a 2-2 pitch from Wilson. That fastball is down the right field line. It's curving foul, and Heffron can't get there. The count remains 2-2. For a second there, I was wondering if that was somehow going to stay fair.
It was close.
The count will remain 2 balls and 2 strikes. Not sure what the Strafford coach was asking, but he was talking to the umpire for a second about something. 2-2 the count remains here on Mullings. The 2-2 fastball is hit on a hop to Houch and no play at third. And he will gun over to first, and there's 2 down now as Hunt takes third on the fielder's choice. Crew Crawford reached on a walk and came around and scored on a couple errors. Thank you to Lighthouse Tax Services in downtown Seneca, offering personal and business tax filings for Missouri and multiple states. A sponsor of KNEO Radio and the Seneca Indians.
Lighthouse, get down to see Roger.
That fastball must have just been a hair outside.
Ooh.
This counts 1-0.
That's a pretty good pitch.
Maybe low. So that one swung on and missed. And the count is 1-1. If you're Wilson, you need to try and leave that runner stranded at third. Comes the 1-1. In the dirt, good block there by Ball. And the count is 2-1. Yeah, you're getting very close to your taxes being due, so make sure that you get them done by Tuesday, as that one's spoiled foul. And I think Daryl would have had that one.
Oh, yeah, no problem.
Count 2-2 now. So here comes the 2-2 from Wilson. That slider he's able to get a piece of. Slider's hard to read because it starts at your body and then eventually curves back towards the zone.
He got a piece. He was hanging on for dear life. That was just a defensive swing.
Here comes another 2-2 from Wilson, and there's the slider again. In
there
right for strike 3, and that will end the inning. For Strafford, no runs, 1 hit, no errors. They strand 1.5 in the books. 2-1 Strafford here on the KNEO and Seneca Indian Sports Network.
A proud supporter of local high school athletics is Numac Electric. Serving Newton and McDonald County, they provide power for area homes and businesses and want to wish all the athletes much success throughout the season. For online bill pay and account information, the website is numac.com or 417-451-1515. Numac Electric, proudly serving Newton and McDonald County, where their slogan is your touchstone energy partner. The Neosho Area Chamber of Commerce is an organization that exists to make Southwest Missouri a better place to live. That is why they are proud supporters of high school athletics. They understand that the life lessons learned from sporting competition teaches responsibility and discipline and makes our student athletes better citizens for tomorrow. Learn more about local area events online at neoshocc.com. Proud supporters of local school athletics.
Locally owned, operated, and here for you. Check out the new face of the Neosho Daily News, covering Newton County, highlighting area residents, businesses, school news, sports, and more. Find us on Facebook at Neosho Daily News or call 417-451-1520. Go get 'em, Indians!
And we welcome you back as Seneca will send 8, 9, and 1 to the plate here in the bottom of the second. Owens, Heffron, and then Wilson, the top of the order. As Owens takes a pitch high, so counts 1-0. Owens was able to walk yesterday, and I think he came around and scored after walking. He helped add some insurance for the Indians there in the sixth as he takes a called strike, and the count's 1-1. Community Banking and Trust, proudly serving our customers for the past 140 years. May visit their branch at 1102 South Cherokee for all your banking needs. Member FDIC, equal housing lender, proud sponsor of the Seneca Indians. So that one is outside and low, so the count now 2-1. Here comes the 2-1. That one is spoiled foul. And the count 2-2. If you're Seneca, you'd love to have the same situation that Strafford did in their half of the inning and get that leadoff runner on and sacrifice him over to second. So that one is foul tipped into the mitt for strike 3. That's the third strikeout for Rogers as Ian Heffron will come to the plate. Heffron had a 2 RBI single yesterday afternoon in the bottom of the sixth to get the game from 8-5 to 10-5.
Yeah, that was a huge hit from Ian.
So that pitch stays high, so the count's 1-0.
Be nice for him to get another hit right here and start us off this inning. The top of the lineup right behind him.
Here comes the 1-0. That's outside, and the count's 2-0. Seneca a 3-game week this week. They got a 3-game week next week. A week after is even busier. So that pitch is outside, and the count's 3-0, and Ian will be taking 1, if not 2 pitches here. Next week, kind of a unique week. They go to Hollister on Monday, and then they're home Thursday in a Big 8 game against Mount Vernon. And that pitch is high for ball 4. So a 4-pitch walk, and he'll be on for Jagger Wilson, who tripled his last time. And then Friday, a non-conference game against Webb City. So it'll be an interesting week next week, Daryl, as competition doesn't let up, and I mean it never does. The month of April into May.
Yeah, they're trying to play some good baseball teams. Stretch these kids, put some pressure on them.
So that first pitch is high. It's the count 1-0. Wilson attacked the first pitch of the game and tripled, and Rogers remembered that and said, I'm not going to let that happen again.
Look
and
at the center fielder.
Now they're shaded towards right center, and lately he's been going the opposite way, and he was trying to go the opposite way there as that one is out of place. Count 1-1. There's a huge gap in left center now, and that's where Jagger likes to try and hit the ball.
Left center, and there's a huge gap down the right field line, too, because the right fielder's moved over.
Yeah, that's true.
Towards center.
Comes the 1-1, and that breaking ball is in there for a strike. Count 1-2. That one was served up on a platter, and he didn't take advantage.
Maybe he's looking for something else.
Now you got to protect with 2 strikes. So here comes the 1-2. That breaking ball, he spoils foul. Does a good job of fighting it off to see another pitch.
Last couple of weeks, every time he's tried to go opposite field, he's just been underneath the ball just a little. And hitting a few pop-ups out there.
Comes another 1-2, and that stays outside. And the count now 2-2. Still kind of pitcher's advantage here, but not as much as a 1-2 count. As here comes the 2-2, and that stays outside, and now the advantage moves to the hitter at 3-2 because he's got to come across. With the way Wilson makes contact, you send the runner here 3-2, less than 2 outs. He's not going, and that's outside for ball 4. Wilson works a walk after being down 1-2 in the count. And once again, Seneca has runners in business. And the third baseman now going to go over and talk to his pitcher.
Yeah,
Couch walked his first time. That is the third walk of the game already by Connor Rogers.
Yeah, he's kind of struggling right now.
Still less than 2 outs, and they are not holding Wilson on, so I would not be shocked if Wilson gets a huge secondary lead.
Oh, he will.
So that first pitch is high for a ball, and the count's 1-0 here on Houchin, and I can't see, but I would not be surprised if Strafford gets somebody up very soon the way Connor Rogers is pitching. It's been an adventure both innings.
Yeah, his pitch count's got to be climbing up a little bit.
That pitch hits the outside corner,
wow.
and the count's 1-1.
Wow, was that a courtesy call?
1-1 the count, 1 out here in the inning.
If House can get a base hit here.
1-1 breaking ball, a spoiled foul. And the count 1-2. New Mac Electric, Prater's Pharmacy, Prolute Maintenance Center, Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, all sponsoring the broadcast. 1-2 the count here on Houchin. Here comes the 1-2, and that breaking ball, he fists it off, but the center fielder did not have to move very far for out number 2. As Drew Sherwood will come to the plate. Not sure if it was a backwards K or a swinging K, but it was a strikeout. His first time up.
Yeah, and I know he didn't. He did not like that at all. He's looking for revenge right here. See if he can get a base hit here.
So here comes the first pitch, and that's outside. So the count is 1-0. Want to know the count here on Sherwood. As here comes the 1-0 from Rogers, and that's outside. Counts 2-0. You really don't want to load the bases for Ginger. Ginger, an RBI single his first time up.
Well, we got the, he's struggling out there on the mound, but we have not taken advantage of him.
Comes the 2-0, and that's low, and the count's 3-0. As Rogers cannot find the strike zone here. Had trouble really all afternoon. Already 3 walks in the game. Sherwood will have a 3-0 green light if he wanted it. He thought about it, but decides to take a called strike. Counts 3-1. Wasn't quite in his happy zone.
Yeah, he must not have just loved it. So
here comes the 3-1, and that's high and outside for ball 4. And you got the bases full of Indians here for Hagen Ginger. Campbell Biddlecombe Funeral Home, Big Nickel, Missouri Southern State University, Prairie Top Chiropractic, Lighthouse Tax Services, Dairy Queen of Seneca, First Community Bank, Cedar Lane Farm and Garden, and the Northwest Arkansas Naturals. As Ginger, 1 for 1 today, punched one out to left field. RBI single his first time. Well, that is a ginormous lead at first for Sherwood.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's just.
That ball is hit.
Yeah.
Foul. As count 0-1.
I don't know what kind of swing that was. Looked like off the end of the bat swing or something.
0-1 the count here on Ginger. Seneca has loaded the bases in both innings. We're not able to take advantage in the first. So that pitch is high and inside, so the count now 1 ball and 1 strike.
Just hit it hard somewhere.
Just don't hit it at somebody.
Yeah.
Because last time you'd said for him to hit it hard somewhere, he hit it hard.
Right at him, didn't he?
So that pitch is outside. Good block by by Choate behind the plate. And the count's 2-1. And you got to think, I'm not even talking pitch count here. You got to think this is probably Rogers' last batter.
Well, you got to think here, 2-1. You don't want to go 3-1. And he just did. Holy cow.
Because he has walked 3 straight, and he's walked 4 in the game. And I got a feeling the Strafford coach won't be.
Yeah, and we haven't had, we haven't taken advantage of him. We haven't got the right hit at the right time.
Here comes the 3-1, and that's outside for ball 4. And you technically get an RBI on a walk, so he has both RBIs as Seneca will leave the bases loaded here.
I think coach is coming.
As Klaus will come in, but we have a feeling a pitching change is on the way, so we'll take a timeout, come back with the pitching change after this on the KNEO and Seneca Indian Sports Network.
Marine Center Incorporated is a sponsor of Seneca Athletics. In business since 1979, they offer Mercury and Suzuki motors, along with low boats as well as boat repairs. Located at 4961 Highway 43 in Joplin, Missouri, open Monday through Friday 9 to 5, Saturday 9 to 12, and closed on Sunday. For more information, the phone number is 417-781-7450 or online at marinecenterjoplin.com. The Marine Center Incorporated, where the slogan is, your family boating headquarters.
Prater's Pharmacy in Seneca is a proud supporter of the Seneca Indians. The pharmacy is open from 9 to 5:30 Monday through Friday and from 9 to 1 on Saturday. They offer an automatic refill program and internet refill service online at praterspharmacy.com and through their mobile apps. They also have a drive-through window. Prater's Pharmacy at 1711 Cherokee in Seneca, 417-776-8701. Go Indians!
Dairy Queen Grill and Chill in Seneca is the place to go before or after the game. Check out their amazing menu of fan-favorite blizzards like Oreo or cookie dough. Happy hour is daily from 2 to 5 p.m. That means everything you can drink from a straw is half price, excluding premium shakes. Don't forget to grab one of their $7 meal deals or their signature stack burgers and top it off with a Misty Slush. The Dairy Queen Grill and Chill in Seneca, located at 308 Washington, open daily from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Proud to support the Seneca Indians.
People's Bank of Seneca. We care about your journey every step of the way. Since 1996, visit us in Joplin, Neosho, or Seneca. PeoplesBankOfSeneca.com. Member FDIC. Proud sponsor of area athletics. Let's score big together.
And we welcome you back as Hudson Turner will come in and pitch here for Strafford. As Connor Rogers, an inning and 2/3 innings, 2 hits. He walked 5, struck out 3. He was responsible for all 3 base runners out there in the field. Klaus 0 for 1. He struck out his first time, but there's nowhere to put him. If you're Seneca, Darryl, we always talk a big hit at the right time. See if you can get one of those here.
Mm-hmm. It's a timely hit.
So here comes the first pitch to Klaus. And that's just a hair outside. Counts 1-0.
You got to drag it back that far. Klaus is due, too. Let's see if Caden can hit one right here.
So here comes the 1-0. That hits the outside corner. So the count is 1-1. Left field and center field are basically playing straight up. That right fielder, there's a huge gap down that right field line. He's shaded towards center a little bit. 1-1 the count here on Klaus. That fastball is spoiled foul, and the count's 1-2. And Daryl's groaning behind me because
that was the pitch too.
Yeah.
That was right down the plate, right in his go zone, and he just missed it. Guarantee he's mad at himself.
1-2 the count here on Klaus. Turner trying to get out of the jam here for Strafford. Klaus trying to give Seneca the lead. 1-2 pitch. He spoils foul. Good job there by him to keep himself alive.
Yeah. Yeah, defensive swing that time. Ball's probably just a little bit outside, but you never know. Don't let the umpire make the call.
Count remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. As here comes another 1-2, and that breaking ball is in there for strike 3. And that one, the inning for Seneca. They get 1 run, courtesy of no base hits. There were no errors, and they strand 3. 2 in the books, 2 up here on the KNEO and Seneca Indian Sports Network.
You've got to have someone that understands what you are doing as a mission. Community bankers are important that way because they understand the community relationships that we have to form to be successful.
I feel like First Community Bank and Myers-Davis, our cultures are so similar. It is all about relationships.
It's a real boon to our community to have a bank like First Community to be supportive of so many things.
They're willing to take a chance on entrepreneurs, which is helpful to make the community grow.
Can you prove that you have a seat in heaven?
Wow, that's a pretty heavy question. What would you say?
Some people say, well, you can imitate Jesus. You can do the things Jesus did as best you can, and that's enough, isn't it?
Billy Graham.
You can do all the good works. You can go with all the people that are doing good social work around the world. But the scripture says, not by works of righteousness which we have done, but according to his mercy he saved us, by the washing of regeneration and renewing of the Holy Spirit. The only way you can get a seat is to come to the cross and confess that you're a sinner and receive Christ as Lord and Savior, and come to the empty tomb and believe that he rose again from the dead.
If you're not sure you've got a seat in heaven, let's talk now. Call us 855-255-PRAY. That's 855-255-PRAY. We're the Billy Graham Evangelistic Association.
And we welcome you back. Top of the third here. It'll be 3, 4, and 5 due up for Strafford. As that pitch hit on a couple hops. Houchin reaches out, grabs it, throws to first. It's a wide throw, and the ball comes off of Prater, and they're going to call him safe as there was a collision at first. The throw kind of brought him into Prater, and they're going to say he's safe. The umpire going to talk about it, and we'll see if they change the call at all, because the home plate umpire is talking to the first base umpire, and now they want to have a conversation again as they're going to make sure that the guy at first is okay. Prater's fine. Prater.
Prater. The throw was up the line, and he went to catch the ball, which ran right into the runner from Strafford, and just basically just about clotheslined him.
So they're going to talk about it. They already talked about it once to see if he was safe. If they overturn it, they are going to say he's out.
Say he ran out of the baseline?
I think that's what they're going to call. And so now the Strafford coach is not going to be happy, and he's having a long conversation with, they must have said he was in fair territory instead of running in foul territory on that first base line, and I think that was Coach Eust's argument.
Well, I know the umpire, the umpire, the plate umpire. He went to the umpire, the field umpire, and I think he was talking about that. And then they came back, and then Coach Eust come out talking about that. And it's like, usually they really particular about that if it's a bunt and the catcher has to make it. And they're not that particular about that if the third baseman has to make the throw.
And that's the second time that the home plate umpire has overruled the first base umpire.
Yeah, the field umpire.
And the field umpire is the one that should be making those calls. I know the home plate umpire is the one that can see the fair versus foul the runner's lane basically. But
yeah, he made the call because of the runner. Felt the runner was in the fair territory. That is his call back here behind.
So there's one out now for Eli Clark, who popped up his first time as that pitch is in there for a strike. To be honest, if it's a better throw by Houchin, none of this matters.
No, it doesn't matter. Houchin just missed him up the line a little.
And that hits Clark. And a one-out base runner here as Braden Choate will come to the plate. That's the second batter that Wilson has hit, as they're going to give a minute for Clark to walk it off as it hit him in the shin area. This has been a very long 2 1/3 innings, Darryl.
Well,
a lot of walks, hit by pitches,
yeah,
and then 2 conversations between umpires.
Right, yeah. The fans are not liking this too well.
But,
Either way, but yeah, it's just a little bit, better throw by Houchin, or if Asher would have just hung on to it.
Yeah.
Either one.
Yeah, either one of those, it doesn't matter. Yeah, that's very true. Sponsors here this afternoon, People's Bank of Seneca, Crowder College, Christian Healthcare Ministries, and the Seneca School District. As Braden Choate coming to the plate. So here comes the first pitch. That is outside for a ball. It counts 1-0. We'll say that play kind of got both dugouts up and a little more animated. Not the hit by pitch, but the football play at first base as that one is fouled off, so the count's 1-1.
You just got to forget all about that when you're on the mound like Jagger is and just throw strikes.
1-1 the count here on Choate. Here comes the 1-1. That fastball must have been low. Counts 2-1. Southwest Missouri Bank, Neosho Daily News, Marine Center Incorporated, Community Bank and Trust, sponsoring the broadcast here this afternoon. So here comes the 2-1. That's spoiled foul. Counts 2-2. You're already on your second pitcher for Strafford. The way Wilson is pitching, it won't be too much longer before you have to see somebody else. 2-2 the count here on Choate. That slider hit past Prater at first base. It will be a single, and Prater looking directly into the sun.
Yeah, it's a tough play. You're on first base, second base, right field. You're looking right into the sun to try to make a play.
So runners at first and second for Connor Rogers, who reached on an error his first plate appearance. As here comes the first pitch from Jagger Wilson. Long look, thought about throwing back, and throws a fastball outside. This counts 1-0. Strafford jumped on Seneca for 2 in the first. Seneca was able to scratch a run across both other times, in the first and the second, to tie it. Now Strafford has runners at first and second. It's a 1-1 the count here on Rogers. Rogers will get a no decision. I'm not sure where he went, if he's now, well, he can't be the designated hitter. He must have gone somewhere else because he's no longer the pitcher of record and he's still batting. So he went somewhere, Darryl.
Yeah,
Couldn't tell you where, though. 1-2 the count here on Rogers. That breaking ball hit to Prater down the first base line, and it goes foul. This count remains 1-2 strikes. As Heffron has to go down the line and snag that foul ball. Tried to go with a slider that time, and Rogers was able to get a piece.
You waited on it well, so 1-2.
Here comes another 1-2. And that one doesn't break. And the count's 2-2.
Tried to come back with a backdoor slider.
2-2 the count here on Rogers. Here comes the 2-2. He goes with the fastball and spoils it foul towards the Seneca dugout.
I said defensive swing. He's just sticking the bat out there on it.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you need to do with 2 strikes. If you don't like it, just get a piece, and that's what he did. And he's choked up a little bit as well as that one stays outside, and the count's now full at 3-2. This is the 8th pitch of that bat between Rogers and Wilson. Here comes the 2-2 or 3-2, and that's high for ball 4. And the bases are loaded for Colton Dampier, who struck out swinging his first time. And do we have a pinch runner, courtesy runner? As it will be Jake Shetler running for Strafford. Got to be careful how you pronounce that name.
Well.
Here comes the first pitch, and that's spoiled foul into the screen.
I think
and
it missed the screen.
0-1.
I think it missed the screen, hit the pole.
Ah, that's what that is.
Sound like a bell.
Here comes the 0-1, and that fastball's outside. Counts 1-1. You got nowhere to put him. It looks like Prater and Houchin on the corners will come towards home.
Yep.
Here comes the 1-1, and that's a fastball in there for a strike, and the count's 1-2. Ginger and Owens up the middle will try and turn 2. Comes a 1-2. That fastball is spoiled foul. Just missed location there, Darryl, because he set up outside, and that pitch was the inner half.
Which I don't mind that. Pitch at his hands.
Here comes another 1-2 from Wilson, and that is outside. Trying to get him to chase, and the count's 2-2. Advantage kind of moves back to the hitter once you get to 2-2, 3-2. So the 2-2 hits the outside corner for strike 3. And there's 2 down, 3rd strikeout of the afternoon for Wilson as Tyler Hunt comes to the plate. He singled his first time up, and that's a huge second out for Wilson.
Oh, yeah, if we can get this one out.
Comes the first pitch to Hunt, swings and misses. Counts 0-1. He singled his first plate appearance. 4-State Sports Report, Missouri Farm Bureau Agent Josh Dotson, Neosho Area Chamber of Commerce, Mid-America Specialty Markets, all sponsoring the broadcast. That one hit to Houchin at third. Nice sliding grabs, throws to first in time for the putout, and Seneca is able to strand the bases loaded. For Strafford, no runs, 1 hit, no errors. They strand 3, 2.5 in the books. Tied at 2 here on the KNEO and Seneca Indian Sports Network.
Cedar Lane Farm and Garden at 143 Cherokee Avenue in Seneca is your local feed dealer and a supporter of Seneca Indian Sports. Offering vet, livestock, and pet products, Cedar Lane also carries a full line of farm and garden supplies. For more information, contact Cedar Farm and Garden on Cherokee Avenue in Seneca today. The number is 417-776-8231. Open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. and Saturday, 8 a.m. through 2 p.m. for your convenience. Go Indians! Huddle Springs Church of Christ is bringing you today's ball game. They're a family-friendly church located just a few miles outside Seneca at 19306 Huddle Springs Road. With Sunday morning and evening worship services as well as midweek services on Wednesdays, check out HuddleSpringsChurchOfChrist.org for more information about all the classes and fellowships they offer throughout the week. Huddle Springs Church of Christ, where they say, we want to go to heaven with you.
Seneca Indian Athletics is sponsored by Prairie Top Chiropractic. Located at 4556 Quince Road in Seneca, chiropractic physician Seth Wilson offers chiropractic services to Seneca and the surrounding areas. For appointment information, their phone number is 417-776-4556 or discover more at facebook.com/Prairie Top Chiropractic. Prairie Top Chiropractic, where their slogan is Better Health Better you.
And we welcome you back as it'll be 6, 7, and 8 due up for Seneca here in the third. Silas Ball, Asher Prater, and Ryder Owens are the three due up as Hudson Turner will begin his first full inning of work. As here comes the first pitch to Ball, and that is hit deep short. Short has a long throw over, and he can't pick it. That was an excellent attempt by the shortstop over there, as that was, I believe, Mullings at short, but
yeah, he had to backhand it deep in the hole, and a little bit better throw, I imagine, would have got him.
I was going to say, I think you have to give an error on the play there because he would have been out if.
Yeah, he's trying to hurry up the throw and just threw it barely off, and the first baseman had trouble scooping it.
So Asher Prater comes to the plate here for Seneca, hit into fielder's choice his first time. That one poked out to left center field, and it'll drop for a single as the first two runners are on here for Seneca. As Ryder Owens will come to the plate, and you have to think a bunt is coming.
Here comes a pinch runner.
As that'll be Jackson, that is Jackson Yoakum. I was right. For Prater. A thank you to Lighthouse Tax Services in downtown Seneca, offering personal and business tax filings for Missouri and multiple states, a sponsor of KNEO Radio and the Seneca Indians. And you have to think that Owens is going to try and bunt those guys over. The first baseman anticipating a bunt. Yeah. You're going to bunt. You're going to have to try and hit it towards third. And that's actually a pretty good bunt.
That's a real good bunt.
And he's going to be safe at first. I don't know. Do you give that a single on the play?
Well, I would give that a single just because I don't know if you want to give an error on the pitcher, but it would have been tough to even throw him out.
I was going to say, yeah, that was about as good as you can get, as now you have the bases loaded here for Ian Heffron.
Yeah, Ryder's got some wheels underneath him.
So the error started things for Seneca. Now they have the bases loaded again. Darryl, this is the third straight inning that Seneca has loaded the bases, this time with nobody out.
And we can't break this game open. We need some timely hits.
Heffron pops one in the air in foul territory, and it's going to sneak out of play. Count 0-1. Heffron had a 2 RBI, I think it was bases loaded last night that he hit a double on.
Yes.
Or hit a single.
Yes.
And scored 2. You got Ball at third. You got Yoakum, the pinch runner, at second. And Owens at first. The 0-1 is laced into left, and it's caught out there in left field. And getting back to the bag is Ball. That was an excellent job out there in left field by the left fielder, Hunt. And then Ball almost got himself picked off.
Yeah, I don't know what he was thinking. He actually stopped going back to the base, and then
Seneca's lucky that the third baseman was going for a cutoff.
Yeah.
And not at the bag, as Jagger Wilson will come to the plate. He has tripled and walked.
Yeah, that was a good play out there in left field.
If you're Seneca, see if you can break this game open with a base hit. So that first pitch is hit to deep center field.
Might get one in.
Ball going to try and score. They're going to cut it off. They're not going to cut it off. A late read by Owens, and it's thrown to second. And a good job there for them cutting it off. It's a fly out by Jagger Wilson, but he does get an RBI. Owens read that late. He kind of did what you always say, Darryl, and if they don't cut it off, you go to second. But it was a late reaction going to second. And now runners are at second and third for Grant Houchin, as Seneca has taken the lead back.
Well, let's see if we can get some more. We got 2 outs?
Yes. And Houchin at the plate. He has walked and flown out to center. That ball is hit to the first baseman, and the first baseman is going to beat Houchin to the bag to end the inning. For Seneca, they do get 1 run on 2 base hits, 1 error, and they strand 2. 3 in the books, 3-2 Seneca here on the KNEO, Seneca Indian Sports Network.
The Roper Kia 4-State Sports Report will provide up-to-the-minute scores and highlights from around the 4 states. With ultimate local coverage from all your favorite teams. The Roper Kia 4-State Sports Report, weeknights at 6 and 10 p.m.
The Seneca R7 School District is proud to support the student athletes and coaches competing in this game. High school activities help students learn life values such as hard work, dedication, and teamwork. The Seneca R7 School District is honored to serve such a great community and wants to thank all the Indian fans for their great support. The Seneca R7 School District, tradition, pride, class. Prater's Pharmacy in Seneca is a proud supporter of the Seneca Indians. The pharmacy is open from 9 to 5:30 Monday through Friday and from 9 to 1 on Saturday. They offer an automatic refill program and internet refill service online at praterspharmacy.com and through their mobile apps. They also have a drive-through window. Prater's Pharmacy at 1711 Cherokee in Seneca, 417-776-8701. Go Indians!
And we welcome you back as Sherwood made a diving attempt at the very first pitch, but fortunately could not get there. Good job by Heffron to back him up as he made a diving effort at it. And now the top of the order is up for Strafford as they've had runners on base all afternoon long. Just like Seneca has, they've stranded 6 through 3. Seneca has stranded 8 through 3. Now they're at the top of the order with JT Mullings, and that pitch is yanked in the dirt. Good job there by Ball to keep it in front of him.
Mm-hmm.
Mullings, 2 ground outs, a ground out to second and a ground out to third. Seneca finally grabbed a lead at 3-2 as they've scored single runs in every inning. Here comes the 1-0. That's low, and the count's 2-0. If you're Wilson, I would just say, hey, throw a strike if he, let him bunt it, let him get to second to get an out.
If you want to throw a strike, try to throw it high in the strike zone.
Try and pop it up.
Yeah.
Yes. So here comes the 2-0, and the runner is off on the play. Not a bad throw by Ball, but that probably eliminates a bunt attempt as the count's 2-1. That was a very good jump at first by Cooper Easley. 2-1 the count here on Mullings. Here comes the 2-1, and now he's going to try and bunt him over. Wilson will throw to first. It's a 1-3 putout, but the bunt does allow the tying run to get to third, as Crew Crawford will come to the plate here for Strafford. Northwest Arkansas Naturals are at home at Arvis Ballpark through Sunday afternoon, April 13th against the Frisco Rough Riders. For ticket information, nwanaturals.com. Supporter of high school baseball here on KNEO. So that first pitch is spoiled foul by Crawford. The count's 0-1. He has walked and struck out. Keep up on the latest Seneca broadcast ball game schedule. Be sure to like us on Facebook, facebook.com/KNEO Radio. Follow us on X at KNEO917 Sports. Is that pitch? I think that was low, so the count's 1-1. Wow.
It had to be low.
Because
it was over the plate.
Yeah, here comes the 1-1. That breaking ball is hit on a hop. They have a play at the plate, and he's out at the plate. What a great job there by...
No double play.
Yeah, it's just a one, but a great job there by Jagger Wilson. It's a 1-2 putout, and the runner is out at home. And there are 2 outs now for Landon Rhodes, who reached on a fielder's choice and grounded out. So that was a late read at third by Cooper Easley. If he read it right away, it may have been a different story, as that first pitch is a ball, so counts 1-0. It's kind of a late reaction there, and Wilson kind of sidearmed it home, and Ball did a good job getting the tag down.
Yeah, just flipped it to him.
Throw behind the runner and back safely is Crawford. Now there's 2 outs and only a runner at first. That pitch is hit on a couple hops to Houchin. Houchin has been busy at first, and Prater cannot scoop it. Runners will be at first and third on the error. And any runs that come in and score would be unearned. And that just kind of ups your pitch count as well, as Eli Clark will come to the plate. He's 0 for 1. He was hit by a pitch in the third. Walks and errors are what kill you, and hit by pitches and walks are what up your pitch count. Or those and the errors. That hits the outside corner. Counts 0-1. That was going to be a pretty quick inning for Wilson if they had been able to get that out. That is the third error of the game on Seneca.
See if we can't keep it.
That one is swung on and missed. Not far enough away for the runners to try and advance 90 feet, as bluffing at first base is Rhodes. They may try and see if they can get him in a pickle and allow that runner to come and score with 2 outs. He's trying to bluff him.
Walking back.
And now you have the runner picked off at third. And if you had given a better throw, certainly looked like they had him far enough away that they could have had him picked off. And with 2 strikes, Darryl, that's why you do that, because if a batter gets out, the same guy comes to the plate.
Yeah, I got into coach mode right quick, Ben.
Well, I knew what you were thinking. As here comes the 0-2. That breaking ball swung on and missed, so it doesn't matter anyways. For Strafford here in the inning, no runs, 1 hit. There was an error, and they strand 2. 3.5 in the books. Seneca up 3-2 here on the KNEO and Seneca Indian Sports Network.
Crowder College, your future, our focus. At Crowder College, we have 6 convenient locations in Southwest Missouri and online programs to fit your needs. Flexible scheduling provides a pathway to a career or the opportunity to transfer to a 4-year university in a variety of programs. Cheer for the Rough Riders at athletic events. Use the Missouri A+ Scholarship Program for free tuition and common fees. At Crowder College, your future is our focus. Apply today at crowder.edu.
Seneca Indian Athletics is sponsored by Prairie Top Chiropractic. Located at 4556 Quince Road in Seneca, chiropractic physician Seth Wilson offers chiropractic services to Seneca and the surrounding areas. For appointment information, their phone number is 417-776-4556 or discover more at facebook.com/Prairie Top Chiropractic. Prairie Top Chiropractic, where their slogan is Better Health, Better You.
KNEO would like to thank the Big Nickel for sponsoring this portion of broadcasting on 91.7 FM. The Big Nickel is an advertising shopper for thousands of different items, from automobiles and livestock to help wanted and real estate. It covers a 70-mile radius in the 4-state area and is available in area businesses each week. Located at 1931 East 20th Street, Suite 103 in Joplin, Missouri. Their telephone number is 417-624-4100.
And we welcome you back, as it's the heart of the order here for Seneca. Sherwood, Ginger, and Klaus. Sherwood has both Ginger has both RBIs for Seneca here today.
Well, we got a 3.
Yes, but that third run
was a walk-in from what?
No, the third run was Heffron has the third RBI. No, Wilson has the third RBI on the flyout.
Right.
Counts 1-0 here on Sherwood. That pitch is outside for a ball. Counts 2-0. Neither starter is going to last very long. The starter for Strafford already out. They're already on their number 2 pitcher. Wilson will be lucky to finish the 5th, as that pitch is hit to center. Center fielder keep going back, and a nice job out there in center field by Crawford on a 2-0 pitch. Able to snag it out there. And there's 1 out for Ginger, who has singled and walked. It was a bases loaded walk, so I guess technically bases loaded, you walk, you still get an RBI.
That's what you get.
I'll make it up. I think that's the case. I don't know that for a fact.
Drew hit it hard, and that center fielder made a good play. But see if we can hit this ball hard.
As Ginger takes a curveball on the inside corner, and the count's 0-1. Turner has done a good job getting out of messes. Seneca has loaded the bases all 3 innings and only scratched across a run in each. So here comes the 0-1. That breaking ball is poked out to right field. That right fielder, Clark, has it, and there are 2 down for Caden Klaus, who's 0 for 2.
Didn't really have to move at all, did he?
Now they're playing him. I want to say that's shallow, but that's kind of medium depth.
Yeah.
It seems shallow from here, and then...
Well, it seems shallow compared to this ballpark.
Yeah. So here comes the first pitch to Klaus. That fastball is spoiled foul. Counts 0-1. I would have had to play on that one, Daryl. Got to protect the camera.
Think so?
Yeah. 0-1 the count here on Klaus. The middle of the order is the one that's kind of struggled here today, Daryl. It's been the bottom half that has gotten on for the Indians.
Yep.
As here comes the 0-1 pitch. 0-1 breaking ball is fouled off, and the count's 0-2. Keep up on the latest Seneca broadcast ball game schedule. Be sure to like us on Facebook, facebook.com/KNEO Radio. Follow us on Twitter, X at KNEO917 Sports. Comes the 0-2. That fastball is low and inside. Counts 1-2. Just missed location there, did Turner. Catcher set up outside, and he went inside.
Yeah. He was wanting a high fastball outside, and he threw it in the dirt.
Inside. Comes a 1-2. That pitch is golfed out to left center field, but that center fielder makes a diving catch out there to end the inning. That's Crawford. For Seneca, it's a 1-2-3 inning, 4 in the books. It is 3-2 Seneca here on the KNEO, Seneca Indian Sports Network.
Singing is my career and my calling, but I'm also a mother of 4.
And as entrepreneurs, we weigh the cost of every decision.
Medical bills are no longer a worry for our family, so I can focus on my calling.
And our family.
Joining Christian Healthcare Ministries was one of the best decisions we ever made. We're the Blair family, and this is our CHM story.
Choose your doctor without network restrictions, all at an affordable price. Enroll anytime at chministries.org/enroll.
So, you're still debating whether to surrender your life to Jesus Christ. There's a lot of different reasons for not making that decision, but they all come down to this. You trust yourself more than you trust God.
Pride is the number one thing that keeps us from Christ. Our own ego. We think we can do it ourselves, or we think we're good enough.
The Bible says we're not good enough. We need Jesus. He paid the penalty for our sins. There's no way around it.
When you come to Christ, you must be willing to repent of sin and receive Him into your heart.
And when you do that, your life takes on a whole new meaning and purpose.
Then there's joy inside your heart when you come to Christ. These things have I spoken unto you, that my joy might remain in you, and that your joy might be full.
We'd love to tell you more about the joy that comes from surrendering your life to Jesus Christ. Go to findpeacewithgod.net. That's findpeacewithgod.net. We're the Billy Graham Evangelistic Association.
And we welcome you back as Braden Choate will begin the inning here for Strafford, as they will send 5, 6, and 7 to the plate. Choate, Rogers, and Dampier. So Wilson begins the inning with 12 pitches to work with. So the first one hits the outside corners, counts 0-1. Choate has reached base both times, hit by a pitch and singled. With how many base runners have been stranded between the two teams, Daryl, it's amazing as that one hits the outside corner, counts quickly 0-2, that the game is only 3-2.
Yeah, both teams have stranded a bunch of them, had bases loaded, and they can't get the hit at the right time. Frustrating as trying to get offense. But
as here comes the 0-2 from Wilson, and tried to get him to chase that slider, and good job there by Choate to not chase. 1-2 the count. Comes the 1-2. That one is yanked into the ground, and the count's 2-2. Don't really want to lose him if you're Jagger here. Comes the 2-2. That hits the outside corner for strike 3, and there's one down as Connor, that's a different, that is a 6. Yeah, that's a different, no, that's Hudson Turner. So he's the one that replaced Rogers. So that first pitch is low and inside, so the count's 1-0. Not sure if he's the one that walked then or if this is, I think Rogers batted last time, so that may have been the change, Daryl. As Turner is batting for Rogers now. Here comes the 1-1. That hits the outside corner. Counts 1-2. Dampier's on deck. He's 0 for 2, so they may have another pinch hitter potentially coming up. Is that one? It's outside, and the count's 2-2. Can't nibble around too much here if you're Jagger, if you want to face third batter here in the inning. That 2-2 pitch is through the right side for a single. And a one-out base runner here for Strafford, as Lucas Gilmore will be batting, so that might be the change, Daryl, is you have the
pinch
flex
hitter.
It's the flex player batting instead of the designated hitter. Gilmore is batting instead of Dampier. Dampier was 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts, so that's the change. Is the second baseman's batting now instead of the designated hitter. A one-out base runner here for Strafford with 1 out in the 5th. They're going to throw behind the runner Turner, and he's back safely. This will be the last base runner that Jagger can face. So that first one is low for a ball. So counts 1-0.
The last batter he faces.
As pitch 95 is going to be the one coming up. So they throw back behind Turner. And the ball got away from Prater a little bit. But not far enough for... Actually, that now they have a runner out there. And that's Jake Shetler running. So it's a courtesy runner for the pitcher that was batting. So here comes the 1-0. That's outside. The count's 2-0. New Mac Electric, Prater's Pharmacy, ProLu Maintenance Center, Freeman Orthopedics, and Sports Medicine, all sponsoring the broadcast here this afternoon. 2-0 the count here on Gilmore. And they throw behind Shetler, and he's back safely. He's got a pretty sizable lead out there at first base. Wilson just trying to keep him close. Comes the 2-0. And that must have been low, and the count's 3-0. I was going to say, usually a 2-0, 2-1 pitch is a good hit and run count, but 3-0, I don't think you're doing anything.
Yeah, you're just taking.
This counts 3-1. So he fires that fastball across. So 3-1 the count here on Gilmore. So here comes the 3-1. That hits the outside corner and works it from 3-0 to 3-2. Want to end your night strong here if you're Wilson. Take a double play ball to end it as well.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Here comes the 3-2, and that pitch is hit on a couple hops to Owens. He has a hard time fielding it and throws it into left field. However, Klaus able to back it up and not allow the runner to get to third. As Tyler Hunt will come to the plate, but there will be a pitching change coming your way with 1 out here in the inning. We'll take a timeout, come back with the change after this on the KNEO Seneca Indian Sports Network.
A proud backer of the Seneca Indians is Campbell Biddlecombe Funeral Home of Seneca. Located at 1101 Cherokee, they are honored to serve the area with traditional service options, including church and graveside services. They also have prearranged funeral plans. For more information, the phone number for Funeral Director Mike Steele at Campbell Biddlecombe Funeral Home of Seneca is 417-776-2251 or online campbell-biddlecomefh.com.
Happy Egg supports the family farmer because they've seen the difference a choice like this can make. Now you can grow for Happy Egg and choose to raise hens the right way, the happy way. When you grow for Happy Egg, you're growing for a family-owned and operated business. You're raising happy hens on 10+ acres who will lay happy eggs. You're working for yourself. As a Happy Egg grower, you'll receive new flock cost support and yield-based compensation. Visit happyegg.com/grower to apply today.
The staff at Mid-America Specialty Markets, along with Jamie and Terry Langford, are proud to serve our community and support the local high school students in their extracurricular activities this school year. Langford Insurance specializes in life, agribusiness, commercial, and personal insurance needs. Please stop by and see us at our office at 908 Washington Avenue, or call us at 417-776-LIFE, or visit us at midaminsurance.com.
People's Bank of Seneca. We care about your journey every step of the way. Since 1996, visit us in Joplin, Neosho, or Seneca. PeoplesBankOfSeneca.com. Member FDIC. Proud sponsor of area athletics. Let's score big together.
And we welcome you back as Heffron will come in and pitch here for Seneca. As Tyler Hunt will come to the plate. Runners are at first and second with one out. Wilson went 4 1/3 innings, 4 hits, 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. He is responsible for both runners that are in on base. As that pitch is golfed out to left, Klaus gonna grab it, and now you have the runner picked off at second, and that will end the inning. It is a fly out to left field. It's an F7, and then a 7-4 putout. And that will end the inning for Strafford. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error, strand 1, 4.5 in the books. Seneca up 3-2 here on the KNEO, Seneca Indian Sports Network.
Seneca Indian Athletics is sponsored by Prairie Top Chiropractic. Located at 4556 Quince Road in Seneca, chiropractic physician Seth Wilson offers chiropractic services to Seneca and the surrounding areas. For appointment information, their phone number is 417-776-4556 or discover more at facebook.com/Prairie Top Chiropractic. Prairie Top Chiropractic, where their slogan is Better Health, Better You.
Prater's Pharmacy in Seneca is a proud supporter of the Seneca Indians. The pharmacy is open from 9 to 5:30 Monday through Friday and from 9 to 1 on Saturday. They offer an automatic refill program and internet refill service online at praterspharmacy.com and through their mobile apps. They also have a drive-through window. Prater's Pharmacy at 1711 Cherokee in Seneca, 417-776-8701. Go Indians.
And we welcome you back as we hit the bottom of the 5th here. 6, 7, and 8 due up for Seneca. Ball, Prater, and Owens. Anybody reaches Heffron would come to the plate. And Daryl, this is kind of the part of the lineup for the Indians that has been producing as of late.
Yeah, Silas has been hitting the ball well, so does Asher.
So here comes the first pitch, and that's in there for a strike count, 0-1.
Man, was that a hanging curveball.
As Turner has come in and settled things down here for Strafford. He's on the wrong. As that pitch back up the middle and through for a single as Turner has to Turner has to duck out of the way, make sure his head doesn't get taken off. And the leadoff runner is on for Asher Prater.
Well, he tried to come back. He threw a curveball. He threw a hanging curveball the first pitch, and Silas just watched it, and he come right back with another, hung that curveball, and Silas just ripped it up the middle.
So runner is on for Prater. Prater 1 for 2. He singled last time up. They had a pinch runner for him, so as that is thrown behind, as Ball has a pretty big lead over there at first.
Silas just kind of dove at the bag, and I gotta let him know he's not that tall. He needs to stretch. He need not stretch that far. There you go.
So here comes the first pitch to Prater, and that curveball's in there for a strike. Count 0-1. Campbell Biddlecombe Funeral Home, Big Nickel, Missouri Southern State University, and Prairie Top Chiropractic, all sponsoring the broadcast here this afternoon. 0-1 the count here on Prater. As here comes the 0-1, and that fastball is hit to right.
That's trouble.
And that is over the right fielder's head. Ball potentially could come around and score because that goes all the way to the wall. They are going to send Ball all the way around, and he is going to score on an RBI double from Asher Prater. That one goes over the head of the right fielder, and that's just another one of those. I mean, that was hit hard, Darryl, but you're looking right into the sun, and he saw it a little bit late as well.
Well, he saw it late, but I'm not even sure he could catch it anyway. By the time he saw it, it was gone. And you know, there's no other. I'm glad Silas is fast enough to get around and score from first base.
Prater out there at second. Ryder Owens coming to the plate, singled his last time. As that pitch gets by, and now Ball is still at second base. I was going to say, they were going to bunt, or excuse me, Prater. And Ryder Owens was a bunt single for him because he placed it about as perfectly as he could last time.
Yeah, he did. I mean, Asher just missed the ball, I guess. It got away from the catcher, and he should have been at third base, but he just maybe couldn't pick up exactly where the ball was at.
As Owens bunts it again, and that's another great bunt. Only play is to first, and Owens for the second straight at bat does his job. This one is a sacrifice bunt, and it's a 2-3 putout, but the runner is at third with 2 attempts as Ian Heffron will come to the plate. He lined out to left his last time. He walked and scored his first time. That's a big insurance run sitting there at third base for Seneca. Yeah. You already have one insurance run in. You'd love another one.
Absolutely. As many as we can get.
So here comes the first pitch to Heffron, and that's outside. Counts 1-0. Wilson is in line for the win as he left the game with a 3-2 lead. As Seneca was able to strand a couple runners on base. Now try and get some momentum here. Here comes the 1-0. Batch is fouled back to the screen, and the count 1-1. And Strafford knows how big that run is at home plate because they're playing the infield in.
Yeah, they're all in.
And I don't think Prater will go anywhere if the ball's in the infield.
And Ian just missed it.
1-1 the count here on Heffron. 1-1 is golfed and not far enough away for Prater at third to think about scoring. And Coach Eustace saying, hey, you need to think about it a little bit more. I mean, that's definitely Prater's read on if he thinks he has room to go and score.
Well, I know, but he's a freshman. So he's still learning the game up here at a different speed and a different level.
1-2 the count here on Heffron. Not a huge lead at third there by Heffron. Breaking ball hit down the right field line, and that's going to curve foul. Lighthouse Tax Services, Dairy Queen of Seneca, First Community Bank, Cedar Lane Farm and Garden, and the Northwest Arkansas Naturals all sponsoring the broadcast here this afternoon. 1-2 the count here on Heffron. Spoiled that one off. Here comes another 1-2, and that fastball stays high. Count 2-2. 2-2, you still kind of have one pitch to work with, but I think going from 1-2 to 2-2 is big for a hitter. Because all of a sudden the advantage comes a little bit back towards the hitter.
You still got to swing if it's close.
Here comes the 2-2. That is outside. And the count's 3-2. Some of the Strafford fans thinking maybe that was, but I mean the catcher did have to reach for that a little bit.
Oh, yeah, he pulled it in from the batter's box, left-hand batter's box.
Count now full here on Heffron. 3-2 the count.
Still got to be aggressive.
Comes the 3-2, and that's swung on and missed for strike 3, and there's 2 down for Jagger Wilson. He may have swung at ball 4, but Daryl, again, that's one of those that's probably too close to take.
If it's close, you have to swing. I mean, he did a good job, but he's just got to get the bat out there and foul it off. That's what he's got to do.
And
they're
going to intentionally walk Jagger Wilson. And Houchin will come to the plate. Runner, I don't really understand that move, Daryl, because Wilson flew out his last time. He's tripled, yes, but
it's just a matchup righty-righty. I guarantee it is.
Versus righty-lefty.
Versus righty-lefty, yes.
As Grant Houchin will come to the plate. Houchin 0 for 2. He's flown out and grounded out. He's also walked. Wilson 1 for 2 on the day.
Okay, so Grant's due. That's why I look at it.
And, I mean, I'm sure Jagger will be off on a pitch or two. That fastball is in there for strikes, counts 0-1. The other thing that it does is you have outs at first or second compared to just the out at first. 0-1 the count here on Houchin, and stepping off is Turner. People's Bank of Seneca, Crowder College, Christian Healthcare Ministry, Seneca School District, all sponsoring the broadcast. 0-1 the count here on Houchin. Here comes the 0-1, and that pitch is lofted in the air to right, and that's going to be over the right fielder's head. He dropped it. He had it in his glove, and then he dropped it. 2 runs will come in and score as he had it until it hit the ground. Do you call that a double?
It's like an unnatural play to get him out. So, yes, I would call that a double.
And 2 RBIs as 2 runs come in and score. I mean, that's a tough break for the right fielder, Clark. He did everything right, and I think that ball carried a little bit more than he thought it was going to as well.
Well, the wind's blowing that way, and he's looking into the sun. He's got everything against him, and he made a great effort for it, and it hit his glove on the way down to the ground. He was sliding on the way down. When he hit the ground, the ball came out, so he didn't secure it.
Sherwood to the plate. Sherwood also due. He's 0 for 2 with a walk.
There's a couple timely hits, or put the ball in play. Good things happen.
That walk comes back to bite Strafford as well. That intentional walk came around and scored. That's what speed will do for you at the top of the lineup, as Wilson wasn't stopping by any stretch of the imagination.
No.
And that's a good job for him of thinking that maybe there's a chance to score, as that 1-0 is low, and the count's 2-0. Ginger on deck. He's 1 for 2 with 2 RBI. If you can get that far. Turner may be tiring a little bit here for Strafford. Seneca has gotten this to a 6-2 lead. They finally got some runs with runners in scoring position. So that 2-0 is outside, and the count now 3-0. Those are finally some of those timely hits you were talking about, Daryl.
We got a couple timely hits and good hits and hard hit balls. And got some good runs in. Like I said, security runs. We've had bases loaded several times, can't hardly score.
As the 3-0 is high and outside for ball 4. A 2-out walk as Ginger will come to the plate for Seneca. He flew out to right field his last time up. And like we say all the time, that right fielder, I mean, you're looking directly into the sun. So is the second baseman and the first baseman. And we'll see if a pitching change is coming here, as Turner came in the second, and it's the 5th. So he's worked 3 full innings here. So we'll see if he stays out here to try and finish this inning.
I'd say he might get one more batter, just to see.
A long meeting of the minds out there. Well, I have a second. The Northwest Arkansas Naturals are at home through Sunday afternoon, April 13th, against the Frisco Rough Riders. For ticket information, visit nwanaturals.com. The support of high school baseball here on KNEL. For a second there, I was wondering if the pitching coach was wanting to wait until he got to the make the umpire go out and have a word or two. But he broke it up before that happened.
Well, the umpire was on the move.
As Hagen Ginger will come to the plate here for Seneca, and he can really break this game open if he can find a gap.
Just hit it hard. I mean, you got to be a rear back and.
That breaking ball hits the outside corner, so the count's 0-1.
I know Hagen didn't like that one, but still yet, be aggressive with the bat. Go get it.
0-1 the count here on Ginger. Here comes the 0-1. That's low and inside. This counts 1-1. Like we said earlier with Rogers, this may be Turner's last batter. Long look in for Turner, and here comes the 1. Oh, they have the runner picked off.
Yeah.
And Houchin, and they may not even have to throw it, as Houchin gets tagged out at second base. That is a 1-5-4 putout, and that will end the inning for Seneca. They get 3 runs in the inning on 3 base hits. There were no errors, and they strand 1. 5 in the books. Seneca up 6-2 here on the KNEO and Seneca Indian Sports Network.
Happy Egg supports the family farmer because they've seen the difference a choice like this can make. Now you can grow for Happy Egg and choose to raise hens the right way, the happy way. When you grow for Happy Egg, you're growing for a family-owned and operated business. You're raising happy hens on 10+ acres who will lay happy eggs. You're working for yourself. As a Happy Egg grower, you'll receive new flock cost support and yield-based compensation. Visit happyegg.com/grower to apply today.
A proud supporter of local high school athletics is Numac Electric. Serving Newton and McDonald County, they provide power for area homes and businesses and want to wish all the athletes much success throughout the season. For online bill pay and account information, the website is numac.com or 417-451-1515. Numac Electric, proudly serving Newton and McDonald County, where their slogan is your touchstone energy partner.
Cooper Easley will lead off the 6th inning here for Strafford. 9-1-2 will face Ian Heffron, who pitched 1 pitch and got 2 outs to end the 5th, which it's about as good as you can get.
Yeah, you can't get any better than that.
So the first pitch from Heffron is a ball. So counts 1-0. Heffron's last appearance was actually against the Strafford team almost 2 weeks ago. That 1-0 is swung on and missed, and the count's 1-1. Southwest Missouri Bank, Neosho Daily News, Marine Center Incorporated, Community Bank and Trust sponsoring the broadcast. So that pitch is high and inside, so the count's 2-1. Don't really want to have runners on for the top of the order, so see if Heffron can fight his way back. Here comes the 2-1. That's swung on and missed, and the count's 2-2. He's able to get it in off his hands. Here comes the 2-2. That's in the dirt, and the count's full at 3-2. Easily singled his last time. He also has a sacrifice bunt to his credit. How big are those 3 insurance runs for the Indians in the bottom half of the 5th?
We may need all of them.
That pitch is up the middle. Wilson going to snag it, throw to first in plenty of time. A 6-3 putout, and there's 1 down for JT Mullings. Mullings 0 for 3. All 3 are ground outs to second, third, and first. So I guess all that's left is to ground out to shortstop.
Yeah.
Or not, or the first baseman. It was the pitcher that he grounded out to, not the first baseman, excuse me. Heffron fires in a fastball, so the count's 0-1. Here comes the 0-1. That's high and inside to count 1-1. Our next Seneca broadcast will be next Thursday as the Indians are home against Mount Vernon. 1-1 is foul tipped, and the count now 1-2. Seneca on the road at Hollister Monday, we will not have that broadcast for you. And then back-to-back home games, a Big 8 game against Mount Vernon on Thursday, and then a non-conference game on Friday against Webb City. 4:30 first pitches, both of those games, 4:10 airtime on both of those. The 1-2 is in the dirt, and the count now 2-2. For State Sports Report, Missouri Farm Bureau Agent Josh Dotson, Neosho Area Chamber of Commerce, Mid-America Specialty Markets, all sponsoring the broadcast. So that pitch is popped foul out of play. And Bowlings will get another swing at it. Strafford, a very good baseball team, 10-3. Already one win over Seneca. Seneca trying to return the favors. That one is hit to right center field and deep. Ginger is able to cut it off. Oh, almost. I thought he was. They decided not to have him go to third. That was a good cutoff. I think Wilson is the one that got it in. If Ginger had been able to cut that one off, they may have had a play at second. But Ginger couldn't quite get there, but he kept it from rolling all the way to the wall, though.
Kept it at a double, let's put it that way.
As Crew Crawford will come to the plate. Crawford 0 for 2 with a walk. If you're Heffron, this is the only time you want to face the top of the order. Don't want to have to face them in the 7th again.
Well, he's doing what he needs to do. Throw strikes. Let's make plays behind him.
Comes the first pitch, and that's popped in the air. Heffron going to call for it in foul territory, and he's going to snag it. Once again, it seems like he had a better view of it than Prater did, and he called Prater off. Normally, the pitchers aren't the ones that you want to field those, but when your pitchers can field every other position too, it really doesn't matter who takes it.
He was just playing outfield again is all he was doing right there.
That's Landon.
Good out. Let's get this third one.
Rhodes 0 for 3. He's reached on a fielder's choice and an error in the game. As that pitch is inside, almost hit him, but he's able to duck out of the way.
Yeah, he tried to throw a curveball and just slipped out of his hand.
1-0 the count here on Rhodes. Here comes the 1-0 from Heffron. And that is low and outside, so the count is 2-0. Heffron at the Neosho Daily News. Wish the Seneca Indians good luck. Let's go get that win. 2-0 the count here on Rhodes. You're still a couple batters away from bringing the tying run to the plate. That ball is hit in the air to left field. Klaus does not have to move very far, and he snags it out there in left field to end the inning. For Strafford here in the 6th, no runs, 1 hit, no errors. They strand 1. 5.5 in the books. Seneca up 6-2 here on the KNEO and Seneca Indian Sports Network.
If you're a weekend warrior who likes to go, 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 don't let pain put the brakes on your pace. When you need help with an injury that keeps you from moving, you want an orthopedic team with a proven track record. Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is nationally recognized, and were recently named CareCheck's #1 hospital in the market and top 10% hospital in the state for hip fracture repair. Freeman Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, the experience you need to keep pace with life.
The Roper Kia 4-State Sports Report will provide up-to-the-minute scores and highlights from around the 4 states. With ultimate local coverage from all your favorite teams. The Roper Kia 4-State Sports Report, weeknights at 6 and 10 p.m.
Prater's Pharmacy in Seneca is a proud supporter of the Seneca Indians. The pharmacy is open from 9 to 5:30 Monday through Friday and from 9 to 1 on Saturday. They offer an automatic refill program and internet refill service online at praterspharmacy.com and through their mobile apps. They also have a drive-through window. Prater's Pharmacy at 1711 Cherokee in Seneca, 417-776-8701. Go Indians!
People's Bank of Seneca. We care about your journey every step of the way. Since 1996, visit us in Joplin, Neosho, or Seneca. PeoplesBankOfSeneca.com. Member FDIC. Proud sponsor of area athletics. Let's score big together.
And we welcome you back as a new pitcher on the mound for Strafford. It'll be Landon Rhodes. Hudson Turner pitched well in relief, but he's in line for the loss. 5 hits, 4 runs, 3 earned, 1 base on ball, 2 strikeouts, as Rhodes will face 4, 5, and 6 here in the 6th inning as Seneca looks to add some insurance here in the inning. They were able to add some insurance last night in the contest against Matt County as they scraped 2 across in the bottom of the 6th. As Ginger takes a called strikes, counts 0-1. That count was 1-1 on Ginger when Houchin got picked off. We were thinking maybe a double hit and run was what they were trying to do. As that 0-1 is hit to the first baseman for an out. Well, Daryl.
Good play by the first baseman.
You always say hit the ball hard. He hit the ball hard. It was just at somebody.
He hit it hard. The pitch was outside. He went with it just like he's supposed to. He hit it hard. And the first baseman made a heck of a play.
As Caden Klaus comes to the plate, Klaus 0 for 3. 2 strikeouts and a fly out to center. If I remember correctly, that fly out to center, the center fielder had a little bit of an adventure out there. So that one is popped up in the infield. The first baseman calling for it and will snag it for out number 2. As he's made both putouts, and if you're a pitcher, you have 2 outs on 2 pitches, 3 pitches.
Yeah, he ain't working very hard. But, hey, he's throwing strikes, and that's what you have to do, need to do as a pitcher.
Silas Ball has reached base all 3 times, once on a walk, once on an error, and had a single his last time. Here comes the first pitch to Ball, and that's swung on and missed. Looked like a curveball that fooled him, and the count's 0-1. Community Bank and Trust, proudly serving our customers for the past 140 years. You may visit their branch at 1102 South Cherokee for all your banking needs. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender. Proud sponsor of the Seneca Indians. That one is low on outsides. The count's 1-1. Seneca, a 4-run lead, trying to tack on some more here. Here comes the 1-1. That ball is golfed out to left, but the left fielder did not have to move very far to end the inning. Nothing doing for Seneca here in the 6th. We head to the 7th. Seneca up 4 here on the KNEO and Seneca Indian Sports Network.
So there I was, sitting next to my nephew playing on his Etch-a-Sketch pad. We had so much fun drawing fun and silly pictures together. But the cool thing was that if we messed up, we just hit the start over button. Lots of people wish they could do that with life, and that's exactly what God did for us. He sent Jesus to die for our sins so that you and I could have a second chance, a clean slate. To find out more, call 1-888-NEED-HIM. 888-NEED-HIM.
At ProLube Tire and Auto Center, we know what it means to rely on your vehicle. We race all year and know how to get that extra inch out of every part. Precision, quality, and reliability are not just words to us. It's what we do every day. We know you rely on your vehicle to perform for your family. From oil changes to full-on repairs, ProLube gives you the best racetrack team experience so you can be worry-free.
ProLube Tire and Auto Center, where we get it right on the road and the track.
And we welcome you back as Seneca has a 6-2 lead. Eli Clark, Braden Choate, and Connor Rogers, potentially Turner, or our pinch hitter potentially as well, in that 3rd spot as Strafford sends 4, 5, and 6 to the plate. It's Heffron trying to finish the game strong. So that pitch hits the outside corner. So the count's 0-1. I think Heffron technically would get a save in this situation. That ball is hit foul and the count's 0-2 because he came in with some runners in scoring position in the 5th and stranded them on one pitch before Seneca got some insurance. Comes the 0-2 and that's outside, so the count 1-2. Seneca does not play tomorrow or Sunday. Their next game is Monday, so they'll have a couple days off before resuming play. 1-2 breaking ball, a spoiled foul by Clark. The count remains 1-2. Clark 0 for 2, hit by a pitch in the third. Thank you to Lighthouse Tax Services in downtown Seneca, offering personal and business tax filings for Missouri and multiple states. A sponsor of KNEO Radio. Seneca Indians is at fastball, a spoiled foul. So the count remains 1-2. Doing just what he can to stay alive. Keep up on the latest Seneca broadcast ball game schedule. Be sure to like us on Facebook, facebook.com/KNEO Radio. Follow us on X at KNEO917 Sports, as that one is in the dirt. Count 2-2 is Clark doing a good job of fighting here. This is pitch number 7 of the at-bat. You do have some wiggle room to work with if you're Heffron. You don't want to get to that point, as Seneca has made the 7th inning a little bit of an adventure the last couple of nights.
Yeah, I really don't want to make this one an adventure either.
Count now full, and Ball going to go out and talk to Heffron for a second. Count is 3-2. I mean, Wilson did a good job on, I think it was, today's Friday, so yesterday, of really not having too much damage there in the 7th. But Tuesday, he allowed Nevada to make it a little more interesting. And then the CJ game, CJ scored 6 runs in the 7th inning to come back and win that contest. So the 7th inning has been an adventure for Seneca as of late.
Yeah, just like, right there, we 0-2.
It was at least 1-2. I know that.
I think he strung at the first 2.
Okay.
I think it was 0-2. Called strike, and then he fouled a couple off.
He fouled a couple off, and it was 1-2.
Yeah. But it's like, throw strikes. Let the players behind you make it.
So that first one's in there for a strike. Counts 0-1. Choate comes to the plate. He's 1 for 2. He also was hit by a pitch. Strafford, if they lose, they're stranded at least one runner in every inning, as that one is high and tight for a ball. They've stranded 10 runners through 6 innings. I mean, Seneca has done the same, though. They've stranded 9 through 6. So that one is outside, and the count's 2-1. If you're Seneca, you just say, hey, throw strikes.
Throw strikes.
It's easier said than done.
Yeah, sometimes it is.
Easier said than done coming from the press box.
Oh, yeah.
So the 2-1 is outside, and the count's 3-1. You may have gotten that call earlier in the day, but the way you're throwing right now, he's not going to give that outside edge to you. 3-1 the count here on Choate. 3-1. It's popped in the air in foul territory. See if Ball has a play, and he does.
Yes.
He grabs it just in front of the screen for out number 1, and that is a huge first out for Ian Heffron and Seneca. And that's a good job there by Ball. Normally you want to throw the mask off, but
I got a feeling Coach Hughes is going to be talking to him after the game or next time at practice. Take your mask off and throw it.
As Connor Rogers will come back in, he'll re-enter to hit again. As he is 0 for 2, but he's reached base both times. That one hit to Clausen left. He backs up a couple of paces, comes in and snags it for out number 2. And Strafford is down to their final out. And we'll see who's batting. It's Lucas Gilmore. So they basically got rid of their designated hitter because Dampier was 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. Gilmore reached on an error. Seneca trying to improve to 9-2 with the victory. As that one is high and tight, so the count's 1-0. And Darryl, I think, if memory recalls, I know last year they started off 6-0, but this will be one of the better starts since 2013.
It is.
That one is outside, so the count's 2-0. 2013 is the last time that Seneca won the Big 8 Conference. Last time Seneca won districts was 2021. Here comes the pitch, and that's in there for a strike, and the count's 2-1.
There you go. Live right there.
Our next Seneca broadcast will be next Thursday as Seneca has a Big 8 game here against Mount Vernon. Comes the 2-1 from Heffron in the dirt, and it gets away from ball. The runner will take second on the wild pitch, and the count's 3-1. Don't want to send the tying run to the plate, which you're still 2 batters away from that, but walks and errors are what kills you, and the walk is at second. And now Gilmore, who reached on an error, has a 3-1 count. Here comes the 3-1 pitch from Heffron. That is in there for a strike, and the count is full at 3-2. Jagger Wilson went the first 4 1/3. Ian Heffron trying to final the finish 2 2/3.
Let's throw strikes.
So here comes the full count pitch from Heffron. That
go.
pitch is
There you
popped
go.
up in the air. Ginger and Owens. And Owens is going to call it out there in short right field. And that will end the contest as Seneca wins this one by a final score of 6-2. Strafford, no runs, no hits. There were no errors in that inning, and they strand 1. Strafford falls to 10-4 on the season. Seneca improves to 9-2 on the year with the 6-2 victory. We'll take a timeout, come back with the postgame show, sponsored by Crowder College and the Seneca School District here on the KNEO, Seneca Indian Sports Network.
Seneca Indian Athletics is sponsored by Prairie Top Chiropractic. Located at 4556 Quince Road in Seneca, chiropractic physician Seth Wilson offers chiropractic services to Seneca and the surrounding areas. For appointment information, their phone number is 417-776-4556 or discover more at facebook.com/Prairie Top Chiropractic. Prairie Top Chiropractic, where their slogan is Better Health, Better You.
Dairy Queen Grill and Chill in Seneca is the place to go before or after the game. Check out their amazing menu of fan-favorite blizzards like Oreo or cookie dough. Happy hour is daily from 2 to 5 p.m. That means everything you can drink from a straw is half price, excluding premium shakes. Don't forget to grab one of their $7 meal deals or their signature stack burgers and top it off with a Misty Slush. The Dairy Queen Grill and Chill in Seneca, located at 308 Washington, open daily from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Proud to support the Seneca Indians.
Are you stressed because you don't have enough money or connections to get to where you want to go? Are you frustrated when you see your friends climbing the corporate ladder? Do you have too many bills and not enough income? Well, there is a person who understands exactly what you're going through, and the best part is, he wants to help you. That person is Jesus. Learn more. Call 888-NEED-HIM or chat with us live at needhim.org.
Crowder College, your future, our focus. At Crowder College, we have 6 convenient locations in Southwest Missouri and online programs to fit your needs. Flexible scheduling provides a pathway to a career or the opportunity to transfer to a 4-year university in a variety of programs. Cheer for the Rough Riders at athletic events. Use the Missouri A+ Scholarship Program for free tuition and common fees. At Crowder College, your future is our focus. Apply today at crowder.edu.
The Seneca R7 School District is proud to support the student athletes and coaches competing in this game. High school activities help students learn life values such as hard work, dedication, and teamwork. The Seneca R7 School District is honored to serve such a great community and wants to thank all the Indian fans for their great support. The Seneca R7 School District, tradition, pride, class.
And we welcome you back for the final time. The post-game show is sponsored by Crowder College and the Seneca School District. Seneca improves to 9-2 with the victory, 6-2. Your final score, Seneca 6 runs, 7 hits, 4 errors. They strand 9 for Strafford, 2 runs, 5 hits, 1 error, and they strand 4. Winning pitcher tonight for Seneca is Jagger Wilson, 4 1/3 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, no earned, 2 base on balls, 5 strikeouts. Ian Heffron picks up the save, 2 2/3 innings, gave up 1 hit and walked 1. On the flip side for Strafford, Connor Rogers, a no decision, inning and 2/3, 2 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned, 5 base on balls, 3 strikeouts. Hudson Turner takes the loss, 3 1/3 innings, 5 hits, 4 runs, 3 earned, 1 base on ball, 2 strikeouts. Landon Rhodes pitched a perfect 7th for Strafford. For the Indians, Asher Brader, we've been talking about what a hot bat he's swinging. He finished 2 for 3 with an RBI. Silas Ball, also a good game. He reached base twice. He finished 1 for 4. Hagen Ginger finished 1 for 3 with 2 RBIs. Houchin, 1 for 3 with 2 RBIs. Wilson, 1 for 2 with an RBI and walked twice. So we talk about different parts of the lineup are having success. You look at it, so the top of the order has gotten on tonight and the bottom of the lineup produced, but you also have the bottom of the lineup getting on and the top of the order producing for the Indians as they avenge a 6-3 loss to Strafford from earlier in the year.
It was kind of a frustrating game from both sides, just for simple fact that we would get bases loaded and couldn't get anybody in. They get bases loaded, couldn't get anybody in. I mean, here at the end it was like 2-2 and maybe 3-2 at the end of 3 innings, and we had bases loaded, stranded 8. 10.
We had 10 bases stranded
10
after 3 innings.
Yeah.
Or no, excuse me, 8, because we loaded the bases all 3 times there in the first 3 innings.
We never got a timely hit until later on in the innings. We got some timely hits. We scored 3 runs in the 4th inning. Fifth inning, and I do believe it was all without 2 outs.
No, 1 out. Yes, you're correct.
Yeah, I mean, we got a couple good hits with 2 outs and runners in scoring position, and that was what put us up the top and made it 6-2.
Seneca 9-2 overall. Head to Hollister on Monday. Sherwood is eligible to pitch again on Monday, and then you Heffron is going to be available again on Monday as well, as he threw under 45 pitches. So. You could go either Heffron or Sherwood on Monday, and then you have a long gap until Thursday, Friday, with Webb City and Mount Vernon coming to town. So you really have anything going. And Darryl, this Seneca team, like we said, this is one of their best starts since probably the 2013 year. I think that was the year that they finished 21-5, won the district, but unfortunately fell in sectional rounds, as that's kind of Seneca's goal, is to win districts, win conference, and then you get to sectionals, and you just never know. Seneca has never advanced out of sectionals, so that's probably their goal, is to win the district and see if you can get out of sectionals, because it comes down to hitting and pitching and fielding. Obviously, you need some big hits as well, but Seneca is in every game because of their pitching and fielding.
Right, the pitchers, and we've made plays behind the pitcher, and that's what it takes. You know, we had a few errors, but then Strafford couldn't get a timely hit, and they left people on base. I mean, that was a difference in the game tonight. It's like we scored 1 run in the first 3 innings, and then you get nothing in the 4th, and then we got the timely hits in the 5th inning and pushed it at, just kind of, I wouldn't say out of reach, but a comfortable. I don't think anything's comfortable. I'm sitting up there stressing out. I'm off air. I'm out here stressing out on every pitch. In the 7th inning, the last couple games. But it's just, they're playing the game right. Okay, and if they can just keep doing this and stay productive and work on the fundamentals, I think they got a pretty good baseball team.
Just trying to find quickly, I think it's the 2013 season, maybe 2014 season. I think it was 2013 that Seneca went 21-5 and advanced to sectional play. I'm trying to see if I can find that quickly before we get off air. But, this is one of the best starts in a long time for the Seneca team.
Right. The goal is always, hey, what can we do in conference? Okay. Then the next is, okay, what can we do at district? Can we put ourselves in good position at district, maybe 1 seed, 2 seed. There's only 5 teams, so as long as you're in the top 3, really. Yeah. But, I mean, you get a little bye, but it's always best if you can have the top seed or 2nd seed or something.
Well, especially in a 5-team district, you want to be that 1 seed because you're going to have to, you're probably going to face the 2 or 3 for that 4 or 5 seed, whereas the 2 and the 3 seed, you can put your pitching the way you want.
Right.
Whereas if you're that 1 seed, you can kind of position yourself. And, I didn't mention it before the game, but, this district is wide open. Last year, it was the 4 seed Aurora beating the 3 seed Mount Vernon.
Yep.
And Mount Vernon, it was a 6-team district last year, but Mount Vernon had issues with the 6 seed. I think it was Cassville last year in that opening round game. And
Right.
so even though you only have 5 teams, 1 through 5, baseball is a funny sport, and not anybody can win.
Yeah. You get hot at the right time, and like I said, we struggled a little time at scoring runs, and we finally got a few good hits and a few timely hits to get some runs today to get a win. It was a good win for Seneca. They lost to them 6-3, but had them, except for 1 inning. Strafford scored 5 runs, I think, in the 6th inning or something like that, and just basically had them, and except for 1 inning. And then tonight, Strafford couldn't get that 1 inning, and Seneca got a good inning, got 3 runs in 1 inning, and got a chance to put up or win.
I mean, you look at the first inning. The first inning is really the inning for Strafford that could have gone haywire for Seneca, and Wilson was able to work around some things. That'll do it for us here this evening. Seneca's 6-2 winners. Our next Seneca broadcast will be next Thursday as they're at home against Mount Vernon. It'll be about a 4:05 airtime next Thursday, 4:30 first pitch here from Mount Vernon. Seneca looking to improve to 3-0 in Big 8 play. For Coach Darrell Harbaugh and Ben Wolcott, saying so long here from Seneca. The postgame show sponsored by Crowder College and the Seneca School District. We thank you so much for watching high school baseball here on the KNEO and Seneca Indian Sports Network.
This has been a live production of KNEO Sports. This broadcast may not be reproduced or retransmitted without the express written consent